1080 News.
Join us this Sunday for Tumalo Financial, your go-to for retirement planning and taxes. Tune in to the father-son duo from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. or catch replay from 5 to 6 p.m. Tumalo Financial, retirement planning with integrity on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Money, sponsored by LendSeek.
A fixer-upper could help you save money on your next home, but you have to be built for it.
What's your risk tolerance, and what's your budget, and then what's your experience level?
Real estate expert Drew Wishover says the decision to buy a fixer-upper is a math problem.
If the purchase price is X, the renovation cost is Y, that has got to total a number that is going to be less than what a comparable home that is already done and finished would look like.
I'm Rob Hart.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Still relying on an old, noisy heating or cooling system? Maybe it's time for an upgrade. Campbell Cooling installs energy-efficient central air systems, heat pumps, mini splits, boilers, furnaces, and hot water heaters designed to keep your home comfortable. Need oil delivery too? Their sister company, Barney Barker Oil, has you covered. From installation, maintenance, and emergency service, Campbell Cooling is Hartford County's local comfort expert. Schedule your free estimate today. CampbellCooling.com. 860-666-2696. Campbell Cooling uses all major name brands, including American Standard and Mitsubishi.
All new drinks are now at McDonald's, with refreshers like the Strawberry Watermelon Refresher and the Mango Pineapple Refresher with popping boba, to crafted sodas like the Sprite Berry Blast with berry flavors and cold foam. Who knew ice-cold drinks could be so fire? 6 all-new drinks are here, now at McDonald's.
Refreshers contain caffeine.
Escape to casual luxury at Margaritaville Resort Cape Cod, the perfect island-inspired getaway in the heart of Hyannis, Massachusetts. Families will love making waves at Fins Up Water Park, while couples can slow down at the Saint Somewhere Spa, pure tropical bliss. And when the sun goes down, savor coastal flavors and ice-cold drinks at Landshark Bar and Grill. Whether you're chasing thrills or chill, your slice of paradise is waiting. Book your escape today at MargaritavilleResortCapeCod.com.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2026 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Calm down. The show is about to start. Reese on the radio. Turn it up. Turn it up low. Turn it up loud.
It's like a dream come true.
Turn on your radio.
Reese is on the radio. Yo, let's get it.
Due to the nature of this program, discretion does not exist. It's Reese on the radio. Right now on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Yeah! How y'all doing out there? All my scallywags, nutmeggers, conversationalists, young, old, angry. And speaking of angry, to all you haters, It's Reese on the radio on WTIC News Talk 1080. Let's see exactly whether or not there's work. Hanging out with us is your favorite apple pie. Rozan is in the house. Yep, told you. Doesn't work. Look at that. Darn thing don't work. It's never going to work. Hello, my dear. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
It's sometimes good, sometimes bad. I'm fixing your camera here so you can look fantastic. If I could do anything. What's today? Friday, right? Yeah, it's Friday. You've been gone all week doing all types of other stuff in and around the house, the homestead.
I've been doing all types of nothing.
Has it been all types of nothing?
All types of nothing. It was not a good... I was struggling this week. I was having a difficult week, but,
Okay.
C'est la vie.
All right. How you doing today?
Great. How are you doing today?
I am fantastic. I have to take my L's where I have to take my L's, take my W's where I take my W's. Dude, we're having a thing right now. I'm just, you know how I am. I'm going to say it. It's not that we're going to have it out on the air, but we're having a thing right now.
We should. I think I'd win.
No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. But anyway, I know it's nice to try. Roland, you're, the fans of a particular individual who I am not fond of. People are very excited that he is going to Philadelphia. So I know you're happy about that.
You talking about the GOAT?
The GOAT?
Michael Jordan still playing?
I know.
You talking about the GOAT?
Yeah, I don't know.
Michael Jordan.
No, you talking about the GOAT? Go James?
Michael Jordan.
Go James?
No.
You talking about Go James?
No, I was thinking.
Isn't he
You talking about Go James?
I was talking about did the Philadelphia 76ers did they acquire a Billy Goat?
You have to be 76 to play on the 76ers. I'm convinced of it.
And he's still averaging 27 and 7. So
at least he's averaging something.
This is my thing. Everybody's going crazy saying how old he is, and he's ring chasing. All the old people back in the day that were great players that started ring chasing.
Sure did.
Guess what?
They got a ring?
No. Some of them got a ring, but guess what? They were on the bench as veterans, teaching the young guys, rooting for those young guys to take them to the promised land.
Who was
Gary Payton?
Yeah, I was just about to mention
Sam
him.
Cassell. All of those guys, they started ring chasing at the end of their careers too.
Absolutely.
And the difference is, Go James is not on the bench. He's still averaging 27 and 7 as a 41-year-old man, about to be 42-year-old, and he's going to put in the effort and he's going to work his behind off with those guys, and he's going to be on the court with them playing. So he's not ring chasing. Ring chasing is when you're sitting on the bench as a veteran, allowing the good people to take you to the promised land.
Do you think that he's invested in Ben Gay?
No, he's not, but he's invested in probably stem cells and whatever else.
I'm not listen.
Tylenol and ibuprofen.
I have stopped arguing with people about LeBron James' status as the GOAT.
Yeah, you can't do it.
No.
We're done. Inconvincible.
I'm so done with the stupid argument of who's the best. Look,
I say 1A, 1B because I grew up. I played basketball because of Jordan. I went to college and wanted to play ball because of Michael Jordan. But just on a standpoint of how much this man has been bashed, he's been crucified as one of the great basketball players more than any other player in the history of the game.
It's not that he's not good. It's just that you're comparing different eras, right? Like Michael Jordan was the original GOAT, and trying to say that he's better, like
he wasn't the original GOAT, but I
will not call him the right.
He wasn't the original GOAT.
Between the two, right? Between Jordan and LeBron, there was Jordan first, right? You're comparing two different things here.
I would go so far as to say this because I think what you just said, Roland, is emblematic of the dispute, right? So I remember how outraged people were at Michael Jordan when he quit basketball.
Yeah.
Because people said, you just won 3 championships. Why leave now? We could go for 4.
Well, they didn't know he was betting on the games, and the commissioner had to get him out of there for a couple years before he brought him back. So.
Bottom line. So, again, you get rid of him. He's gone, and then he comes back, and he does it again. Now, with those 6 years, and, of course, the little hiatus in between.
The baseball thing.
Yeah, that was. But Michael Jordan is during that era a person who turns basketball, if not sports overall, into an international phenomenon.
Yeah.
Right? And this is post the time when the two guys who really were turning sports into kind of a national phenomenon, Bird and Magic.
Yeah.
Right? Because they were kind of the original.
They were dying out. And
but they were still goats. They were still goats,
Yeah.
and that rivalry was still like it was
From
so
college to
emblematic.
the
Yes,
league.
it was so emblematic of the NBA. They were sort of like the forefathers, if you will, of that sort of NBA becoming, bigger than it used to be.
Yeah. Well, the NBA was on its way out.
Exactly.
Bird and Magic saved them.
Exactly.
And made them enough money to be able to stay relevant.
Exactly. So then you bring in Michael Jordan, and he becomes, of course, the face of the game.
Yep.
And then after that, who did they bring in? And I think at that time, it was, as far as a younger audience, Kobe Bryant.
Yeah, it was
became the
Kobe.
face. It was Kobe.
Yep.
Now, Kobe was already international because, of course, he gets drafted right out of high school. And, of course, he could speak Italian. And, he was worldly, especially for an African-American kid. And he had that, very attractive sort of smile and face. He didn't look gruff. He looked mature, but baby-faced at the same time.
He was supposed to be the next face of the league.
Indeed.
It wasn't supposed to be LeBron.
Exactly.
But that charge, what happened with the young lady in the hotel.
Yes, the Denver situation.
That killed that.
Yeah, killed it immediately.
Him being the face of the league, and then LeBron was able to take it from there.
Perfect place. So when I look at what you just said about LeBron, and LeBron being the most controversial GOAT there ever was.
Yeah.
Right? So when you look at Michael Jordan didn't have kind of that adversarial approach to who he was as a player.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? LeBron came with a whole lot of other garbage that went with it. And I'll tell you the thing that was when he became activist LeBron.
No, it was way before that.
You think so?
Yeah, absolutely. He came in as a 16-year-old kid. He was on a cover of Sports Illustrated as the chosen one.
You're right. Yeah.
So
the whole $90 million contract before he ever played the game.
All the NBA players upset immediately because they're like, "Who is this kid?
Fair.
He thinks he's this and that.
Fair.
He hasn't even been here before." His own team hated on him when they drafted him. Like, he's not going to take us to the next level. He's a kid. Then all of a sudden he got there and took them to the next level. So
Matt Soroyce is in the chat room. He said, "Say it with me, Roland. Knicks in 5."
Matt, he's been on my Facebook saying that too. Knicks in 5. Knicks fans have now, because they haven't won in 53 years.
Yeah, there you go.
They think they're gonna win every year. No, that was a gift. They gave you a gift. You're not gonna win probably for another 53 years.
Oh, come on. I will admit. Wow. Who gave them a gift? Who did you say gave them a gift?
The basketball gods.
Oh. Okay.
They gave them a gift this year, and
look,
they're not gonna repeat. So.
I don't think so either. Now, I'm happy that they were. Matt Soroyce is like, "Reese, say it with me, Knicks in 5. Rozan, say it with me, Knicks in 5. He wants everybody. I know, Matt, you called it. I know you called it.
But hold up.
Yes.
Ask Matt where he got that in 5 from.
Oh, that must have been from you.
No.
Whom?
LeBron.
No, that was created by Shannon Sharp.
Okay.
On Fox with Skip Bayless.
Oh yeah, what is that? Undisputed.
He put on a GOAT mask and he said, "GOAT James, Lakers in 5."
Lakers in 5.
Yep, Lakers in 5. Yeah, they won. They won that year.
Oh, okay.
He said it all season. Lakers in 5. Chris Paul, Cliff Paul, whoever Paul. Lakers in 5. And he said it every series. He made a little rhyme with it. So he got that from GOAT James. So he just need to give him the credit.
Oh yeah, fine. Like I said, I have no issue with LeBron James. I'm over it. I think that LeBron James, the activist LeBron, I think that was all that was.
Like that.
That was a clown show.
Is activist LeBron the same one wearing the French maid uniform?
Yes, that's the same one.
Okay.
Activist LeBron, who was always on page 2 of the autobiography of Malcolm X, no matter where he was, no matter what day he was always on page 2 of the autobiography. He would be seen reading, and he had never got past a page 2. I think there's a photograph of him holding the book upside down.
Well,
but I was
we're given all these attributes, right? Everybody have their own attributes.
Nickname.
Some of the things are like his basketball is much greater than his activism. So
Yes.
his philanthropy
Clearly.
is much greater than his activism.
Yes.
So you
Or
know,
his literacy.
I don't know about his literacy. He's an intelligent guy.
I don't. He didn't. Did he drop an album? Did he drop a
No,
hip-hop?
no.
Thank goodness.
Yeah,
dude.
but he produced one of 2 Chainz albums that went platinum.
He produced a 2 Chainz.
Executive produced it.
Well, he did that at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, enough about him.
Go James.
All right, yeah. So LeBron James, if you hadn't heard the news, why are we talking about him? He's gone to the Philadelphia 76ers. To me, this is like, I don't know. This is like moving.
It's like a football team went to the Super Bowl this year.
No, it's actually
That's
different
about
than
that
that.
same level
It's literally like
interest.
it's like the Jets moving to Manhattan. It's not a big story.
Oh no, it's a huge story.
No, why?
It's a huge story because you got
Glass ankles Embiid.
I'm gonna tell you why it's a huge story.
Why?
A lot of drama went down with your Celtics getting rid of Jaylen Brown, even though he was the best player on that team and he's the man that won him a championship.
I know, and now
he
he's
talked
gone.
a lot of trash and he went to Philly.
Right.
That was part of the reason why LeBron James decided to go to Philly, because Maxey was one of his clients, clutch clients, and all they did to Jaylen Brown. And so he decided to join up.
Okay. Well, it doesn't matter. Philly, I don't think Philly's ever going to win a championship.
Embiid is going to play every game this season now.
No, he's not.
All of a sudden, he's not going to be hurt.
He's not going to be injured?
He's not. All of a sudden, he's going to be miraculously healed.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. His ankles are made of glass.
Yeah. You're going to see.
We'll see. If a championship goes to Philadelphia again, that's it. I'm done. I hate Philly. I hate Philly. No, like people don't realize that. I hate Philly.
I'm not an Eagles fan. That's for sure. I could tell you that.
Sorry, and I know there's some people in here who probably lived in Philly, like Philly. My own wife used to live there. Cannot stand Philadelphia.
Yeah, I went there like 3 or 4 times. I didn't enjoy any trip.
So it's that whole. Oh man, I had to do it.
I did like the Rocky stairs though. Yeah. That's the only part I did.
I did a press junket in Philly. I still hate it to this day. I still think about it. It's in my nightmares. I hate that.
Junket.
Yeah, it was a press junket. Yeah, exactly.
So there's other stuff happening in
yes,
the world.
we'll move on.
I'm sorry. Thank you, Rozan.
Bron James.
James Brown. That's what I heard.
So anyway, today we have got to do a deep dive into the DMV today. If you follow me on social media, you may have heard that I found a couple of articles from 2018. One in particular article was written just 29 days after Seyo, say his last name, Rozan? Sekunjanin. Seyo Sekunjanin received his voter registration abilities, I guess, or status in the same year. Both of these articles, one from the 26th, the other from 6 days earlier, written in the Hartford Current, that was warning Connecticut about the DMV and voter rolls and the motor voter roll. But before we go there, I want to start with this. And it sort of goes back to a date very recent. I went down to the city of Hartford where Governor Lamont was signing a new law. And that law was for no excuse absentee ballots. And at that signing was the current Secretary of State, members of the ACLU, and former Democrat Secretary of State Denise Merrill, who spoke at the bill signing. Now, I didn't know much about her because, of course, she was here before I got here. In fact, she resigned in 2022 after her husband fell ill. But I went into her background because of the 2 articles from 2018. And the background on this is the Connecticut Drive-Only License, or the DO, which started in 2013. It was Public Act 2013-89, implemented and started around January of 2015. These are for undocumented individuals aged 16 and up who cannot prove legal presence in the United States or lack a Social Security number. They allow driving privileges, but are explicitly not valid for federal identification, real ID, or voting. The licenses are marked differently, meaning DO or not for federal identification. Regular driver's licenses or IDs for citizens and lawful residents are the ones tied to the standard motor voter process. Now, federal law, which is the NVRA Section 5, requires that applications for state driver's licenses or non-driver ID also serve as applications for voter registration for federal elections. Change of address forms at the DMV must also update voter registration unless the person opts out. Connecticut was lagging badly in this back in 2015. Its DMV ranked near the bottom nationally in motor voter registrations. So in April 2016, the DOJ, the Civil Rights Division, under Loretta Lynch in the Obama administration, sent a letter to state officials, including Attorney General George Jepsen, stating that it found widespread noncompliance. Applications for licenses and IDs did not function as voter registration applications, and the intertown change of address forms were not properly treated as voter updates. The DOJ threatened to sue, but agreed to hold it off if the state fixed it. Merrill had already been pushing automatic voter registration that year. The opt-out system at DMV transactions. The bill did not fully pass the legislature, but in May of 2016, Merrill's office and the DMV commissioner, Michael Bezra, signed a memorandum of agreement, an MOA, to implement a streamlined motor voter system administratively without waiting for full legislation. Its aim is to automatically give registration to eligible citizens at DMV transactions. Opt-outs were protected to start around 2018. Officials explicitly stated that it would only register eligible citizens and that the system would not recognize process drive-only licenses for voter registration. Stand by. When we get back, I am going to show you a copy of that registration. It is in my hand. What is on the top of it will not surprise you. Stand by. More news, more views when we return. It's Reese on the Radio.
I'm Matt Morgan of Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. I've had the privilege of seeing miracles, broken families rebuilt, every crash, every workplace injury, every medical mistake. Fighting back can work. We've gone toe-to-toe with insurance giants, and we've won a lot. Over $30 billion recovered. Size matters. Reputation matters. Results matter. There's only one Morgan & Morgan.
Injured? Dial pound law.
Nicholas Russo, 157 Church Street, New Haven, 06510.
Hi, this is Eric Hogarth, certified financial planner from Money Wisdom. There are over 500 ways you can take Social Security. It's a little complicated. So how confident are you that you'll get the most out of your benefits? Explore your filing options by texting Security to 800-705-1232 to get your free Social Security Simplified Guide. That's Security to 800-705-1232.
Johnson Brunetti is a marketing name for the businesses of JB Capital and JN Financial. Investment advisory services offered through JB Capital, LLC. Insurance products offered through JN Financial, LLC.
Fire up the grill, leave the slider open, and gather on the patio. Summer is for outdoor cooking. We'll handle the kitchen inside. At Dean Cabinetry, we design kitchens that are built around how you live every day. So when you step back in this fall, everything looks and flows just right. Because summer doesn't last forever, but a great kitchen does. Dean Cabinetry, your kitchen cabinet partners from start to finish.
At a huge law firm, does your case feel lost? And at a small firm, they might not have the muscle to truly fight for you. At BPS Lawyers, we're small enough to give your case the personal attention it deserves, yet large enough with the resources and expertise to get the job done right every time. BPS Lawyers, your lawyers for life. Glastonbury, Hartford, Essex, East Hampton, New Hartford, and Simsbury. Visit bpslawyers.com or call 860-CALL-BPS. Nick Payne-Dearest is responsible for the content of this ad.
And now, a WTIC news update.
84 degrees, sunny at 2:30. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News. High in the mid-80s, dry and beautiful today. Low in the mid-50s tonight, back to the mid-80s, and dry again tomorrow. U.S. allies are slamming new tariffs from President Trump. Australia calls them unjustified. Japan calls them regrettable. The sales taxes of 10% or more apply to about 60 countries. University of Michigan economics professor Justin Wolfers says the cost falls on the American taxpayer.
The president told us that if he imposed tariffs on other countries would pay them. That's very compelling political rhetoric. It's also totally false. Here's the most important thing for people to understand. When the United States imposes a tariff on Canada, that is a tax on Americans who import goods from Canada. So when your maple syrup arrives at the port, it gets stuck in customs until you go there and you pony up the tax.
A federal lawsuit has already been filed against these new tariffs by the Liberty Justice Center, a libertarian advocacy group. A Danbury woman appeared in court this morning. She's charged in the death of her newborn son. The remains were found in a Stamford recycling plant in 2018. Dominique Harrison faces a count of murder with special circumstances. Police say they used DNA evidence developed over a number of years to track down the mother and father. Court documents say Harrison repeatedly changed her story, but eventually admitted giving birth after hiding the pregnancy from her family and her father, and the father of the baby. The case has been continued until mid-September. Harrison is being held on $2.5 million bond. Hartford police confirm a double shooting at about 2 a.m. on Main Street in the city's northeast. The victims were dropped off at the hospital in private vehicles. A man in his 20s is in critical condition. A man in his 30s is in critical but stable condition. That's all the info that has been released by police. The NBA's all-time leading scorer is making a move to Philadelphia. 41-year-old LeBron James will join former Celtics great Jaylen Brown on a team many now think can win a championship.
He was pretty sure he played his last game after the season ended, saying that he needed time to decide whether he still loved the game. Well, the answer is, quote, I still truly love this game, and I have so much more to give.
ABC's Morgan Norwood, it's a modest 2-year, $8 million deal with the Sixers, according to ESPN's Shams Charania. On Wall Street, the Dow up 203, S&P climbing 3 points. The NASDAQ is down 137. And the WTIC forecast.
A gorgeous afternoon across the area. High temperatures getting into the low 80s with full sunshine and fairly light wind, comfortably low humidity as well. Tonight, partly cloudy, lows about 55 to 60. Looks like a nice weekend. Sunshine tomorrow, highs in the low to mid 80s. Clear Saturday night, the low near 60. And some more sunshine in the forecast for Sunday, highs in the 80s. Monday looks partly sunny, maybe a shower in the afternoon or evening, highs 80 to 85. Some showers at times Tuesday and Wednesday with a chance for a thunderstorm, highs both days in the low 80s. I'm meteorologist Bob Cox in the WTIC Weather Center.
84 now, Red Sox and Blue Jays at Fenway Park, pregame 6:10 on WTIC. For more, check out WTIC.com. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News.
Well, it's official. My friends have all switched to Pure Talk because I told them they could save a bunch of money on a super reliable high-speed network with unlimited data. And because they're my friends, they trust me. As for the rest of you, well, Pure Talk understands that even though you might like me, you're not just going to take my word for it, nor should you. For that reason, and for a very limited time, Pure Talk is offering any of their plans for just $15 a month for the first 3 months, including their top-tier unlimited plan that normally sells for $65 a month. Think of it like a test drive, a super simple way to save $150 while you kick the tires on Pure Talk's blazing fast network, and a fine way to see for yourself why I switched from big wireless, along with a few 100,000 of my closest friends. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and be connected to Pure Talk's friendly U.S. customer service team. Again, dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and let the savings begin.
Hi, I'm Joe with SimpleSaleUSA.com, and I buy houses cash. If you own a house and want to sell it fast at a fair price, call me at 203-896-4000. I can pay cash and close in as little as 7 days. I buy houses in any condition, any price range, and more importantly, anywhere in Connecticut. I'm a private real estate investor who buys several houses a month, and I want to buy more. I buy inherited houses, divorce houses, behind in payment houses. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Do you own a house that is trash and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, because I love buying junk houses. I buy vacant houses, abandoned houses, condemned houses, and even foreclosure houses. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at 203-896-4000. That's 203-896-4000. 203-896-4000.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now, there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team. Build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. And you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Men, erectile dysfunction can affect much more than just your sex life. It can create stress in relationships, lead to feelings of anxiety or embarrassment, and impact your overall confidence and well-being. This is Dale for Northeast Men's Health, and we specialize in treating men's sexual health issues. ED is a frustrating condition, and many men suffer for years without seeking treatment. But the good news is that, if you're like most men, we have the answer. Our licensed medical providers will evaluate your specific medical situation and recommend a plan designed for you. And these advanced medical therapies work, with treatments having success rates of well over 90%, which means you and the one you love can have great sex again without the fear and worry of ED. You can even last up to an hour or more, and you may just find you're performing like you haven't in years. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-930-5956 or go to northeastmenshealth.com. We have 7 offices, including our new office in Bridgewater.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy, pretty much hands off. They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com. Fan of WTIC? Then do us a favor. Download the free Odyssey app and favorite WTIC.
All right, we're back. Reese, Rozan, WTIC, News Talk 1080. So I'm going over this, and again, in my research yesterday, talking about former Secretary of State Denise Merrill. She filed a settlement with the Department of Justice and Loretta Lynch from the Obama administration about the voter rolls. So on August 5th, 2016, Connecticut reached an out-of-court agreement with the DOJ resolving the NVRA claims. The key terms of that were to fully integrate a voter registration opportunity into all applications for driver's licenses and other ID documents, including renewals. Ensure change of address information submitted for driver's license purposes is used to update voter registration addresses unless the voter declines. And lastly, this settled the matter without the formal lawsuit filing. Now, Merrill and the DMV framed it as modernizing an old 1993 federal requirement, improving efficiency, saving money on paper processes, and avoiding costly litigation. Merrill's frequently asked question materials stress that the online system integration already in place and planned expansion would not recognize drive-only licenses, so attempts to register with one would fail. But did this create confusion, allowing undocumented immigrants onto the voter rolls? The official design said no. Drive-only licenses were supposed to be excluded from the voter registration pathway, and applicants for regular licenses affirm citizenship under penalty. Merrill's materials and the agreement emphasized eligibility checks and that drive-only holders could not successfully register via the system. In practice, vulnerabilities existed and have been documented. The DMV has used the same change of address forms for regular licenses and drive-only licenses. This created opportunity for processing errors or improper transmission of the data. Now, folks, I don't want to just read that to you. I have it in my hands. And in the top right corner, I will read it to you. It says, new out-of-state transfer, drive only, add, remove, endorsement, or restriction, exchange, or retest. At the top of the same page. This is a regular application for valid driver's licenses in the state of Connecticut with drive only on the same app. There is not a separate application. They're all in one fell swoop. Again, that's because the former Secretary of State said that this would be saving money. And the argument was that it was not going to save money, it was going to create a problem, which it did. We know that now. Registration relies heavily on self-attestation. Someone with a drive-only license or applying for one who falsely claims citizenship can get registered, which is exactly what happened in the Sayo case. Poll workers and local officials have reported confusion over the difference between regular and drive-only licenses. Merrill's office was asked about training memos on this. Later proposals under Lamont to remove the distinctive DO markings on licenses rather further Republican concerns about poll site confusion and potential same-day registration issues. Now, let's forget about all of that where we are today. Let's go 30 days before Sayo
Secunjanen.
Thank you. Secunjanen ever files and becomes a legal voter. The first article came from the Hartford Current, October 20th, 2018. Headline, DMV override. Greenwich registrars catch agency adding woman who explicitly opted out of voter rolls. In October of 2018, the Republican and Democratic registrars of voters in Greenwich filed a joint complaint against the State Department of Motor Vehicles. They say the agency haphazardly added a local woman to the voter rolls, even though she made clear she did not want to register and is not a U.S. citizen for voting purposes. The woman's name is Michelle Burke of Coscob. She was updating her address at the DMV. On the change of address form, the agency uses for both regular driver's licenses and drive-only licenses. She crossed out the voter registration section and checked the box stating the address change was not for voter registration. A DMV employee sent a voter registration card to the town claiming that she was a U.S. citizen. DMV spokesman Jim Carson said the agency simply processed the form as signed. Greenwich Republican Registrar Fred DeCaro III pushed back. Where should those judgment calls be made? We're the ones that are the experts on admission of electors, not your average clerk at the DMV, he said. The same form is used on both citizens and the drive-only licenses. Connecticut began issuing to undocumented migrants in 2015. Registrars in the towns reported similar mix-up. Glastonbury GOP Registrar Elizabeth Becker, who chairs the Technology Committee on the Registrar of Voters Association of Connecticut, said that the system requires manual retyping of information and is a recipe for making mistakes. She noted the DMV had been responsive when errors are flagged, but the pressure to process volume creates problems. Again, this is October 20th, Hartford Current 2018. 6 days later, Hartford Current. GOP chair accuses Connecticut Secretary of State for registering non-citizens through unchecked motor voter system. Connecticut Republican Party Chairman J.R. Romano accused Secretary of State Denise Merrill of allowing non-citizens onto voter rolls. Romano said the Secretary of State's office does not verify citizenship when someone checks the box claiming to be a U.S. citizen. You're on your honor, he said. The charge followed a formal elections complaint by the Greenwich Republicans Registrar Fred DeCaro III and Democratic Registrar Michael Oriella against the Department of Motor Vehicles, according to the complaint. A local woman filled out, yada, 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 same thing I just read you. Merrill, first elected in 2010 and seeking a third term as against Republican Susan Chapman, had previously blocked a request from the Trump Voter Fraud Commission for Connecticut's voter data and joined a multi-state lawsuit opposing a citizenship question on the 2020 census. Republican gubernatorial candidate Bob Stefanowski campaign said that it was coordinating with the state party on Election Day ballot security measures. Democrats labeled Romano's comments xenophobic. The Current framed Romano's statement as an echo of unsubstantiated Trump claims. We got a message from Romano, and we appreciate him responding to our request for statement. He says, I stand by what I said in 2018. And he is vindicated today. There is no way that this isn't happening, that it only happened that, I mean, in essence, we know for a fact that in 2018, a month apart, 2 people were registered to vote now. We know that for certain. Within a month from each other. Seo, he was registered to vote on the, what date was it?
I believe it was September 27th.
September 27, 2018. And now we have a story about a woman. That report came out a month later. Less than a month later. So you're going to sit up here and tell me that what? It's no longer a one-off now, folks. It's no longer a one-off. We have 2. How many more? There must be an overhaul of the system. It's got to be. And I would say, for all intents and purposes, you got to shut the rest of us up. Right? We don't know what we're talking about. We're going after the whole system. We're saying that, we're trying to take an isolated. But remember, they said it was isolated. That's what the governor told us in a statement, suggesting that an isolated incident. Now it's not isolated, folks. We know that there were reports on it. And I told you yesterday and the day before that it wasn't the end of it. I told you there was going to be more to this. It was going to be a peeling back of the onion. And I bet you, if you go out there, folks, if you put the effort in, I promise you, you're going to see more than this story. I am sure you are going to find this story in other places, beyond a shadow of a doubt. I just did a simple search. All I did was look up any stories that involved Denise Merrill and voter registration, and these 2 stories pop right up. And Denise Merrill, she's got a reputation. Her whole campaign, her entire political life has been advancing access to voting. Now, I don't know what that means to you, but it means something to me. And the fact that this woman was fighting really, really hard before she left office to get no excuse absentee ballots, it seems that everything that she is championing is somehow linked to an availability of fraud. That's just my take. Senate Minority Leader Stephen Harding is going to be joining us in the next hour, roughly in about 20, 30 minutes. Actually, about 20 minutes. So stand by for that. He's going to call us on what Republicans are doing with the association of the DMV to get to the bottom of this. I spoke to Vin Candelara last night. He's also working on this. An audit is being asked for, and it should be. And we'll get to the bottom of that when we return. Stand by. It's Reese on the radio, Rozan on the radio. When we return, it's Reese on the radio.
Are you a commercial building owner in southern New England? Are you frustrated with your roof services? Contact Eagle Rivet Roof Service today. Our skilled technicians provide tailored roof repair and maintenance programs to maximize your building's lifespan. With 24/7 emergency response and comprehensive service options, we are Greater New England's trusted commercial roofing provider. Visit EagleRivet.com for a complimentary inspection or call 860-953-1231. Protect your investment with Eagle Rivet.
Hi, this is Eric Hogarth, Certified Financial Planner from Money Wisdom. Get the answers to your retirement questions at our free educational dinner workshop. Reserve your seat today to learn about different strategies to maximize your retirement income, ways to reduce your lifetime tax obligation, and much more. Text WORKSHOP to 800-705-1232. That's WORKSHOP to 800-705-1232.
Johnson Brunetti is a marketing name for the businesses of JB Capital and JN Financial. Investment advisory services offered through JB Capital, LLC. Insurance products offered through JN Financial, LLC.
If you're in the Hartford area and caring for a loved one with Medicaid, get paid starting today. Freedom Care has already helped over 162,000 families get the care they deserve, with 97% satisfaction and more than 8,000 five-star reviews. If you have Medicaid and are 65 or older, you need to hear this. You may qualify to choose a caregiver you already trust, a family member or friend, and they can start getting paid tax-free. No agencies, no strangers, just someone you know helping with meals, medication, bathing, mobility, and more. This service isn't for later, it's for right now. It's 100% free to you through Medicaid, and caregivers get paid right away after their shift. Find out if you qualify today. Call 860-777-1597. That's 860-777-1597. Don't wait. Call 860-777-1597 now. Again, 860-777-1597. Freedom Care. Get paid to care. Starting now.
Freedom Care, we're here for you.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-358-6868. That's 800-358-6868. Again, 800-358-6868.
It's Reese on the radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
Ain't you got nothing to say? I'm dropping knowledge down here.
No, I'm staying out of the way. I figure you'll let me know when my commentary is required.
I'm waiting for you to jump in at any time. So you can jump in at any time.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
You've been doing research on Seyo. You have to say his name now.
Secunjanin.
How do you pronounce that? How are you doing that?
It's phonetically spelled.
Secunjanin?
Secunjanin. Secunjanin.
I thought Mahmoud Ahmadinejad was a tough one for me. Ahmadinejad, yes. But Secunjanin? Okay, I have to say it a few times and then I can do it. Mm-hmm. So what we're trying to find out is, and it's the most important part to this as it relates to the DMV, in my view. No one asked. I called Mark Fitch today at Connecticut Inside Investigator because his publication did an article about him. They spoke to him yesterday. Sayo Sekunjanen. Spoke to him yesterday.
His name is Syed.
Syed
And
Sekunjanen.
I think there's a reason why we're not saying Syed.
Oh, I don't know. He's from Montenegro.
It's a Muslim name.
Yeah. Anyway, that being said, see what I did there? No one asked him when they spoke to him, what kind of driver's license do you have or did you get in 2018? That's the crux of the story. I don't understand why no one's asking that. You know, yes, we know that he went there to get he went there to get a driver's license. But it is very important to the story on whether or not he got a drive only or a valid driver's license, because that begs another question as far as the DMV is concerned. Now, maybe other people are saying, well, the DMV is not the story. Yes, it is. The DMV is the story because that's the workaround. Please understand where I'm coming from here. And I'll take everyone's base, like from the average Republican conspiracy theorist angle. Okay? I'm gonna take it there because I think in this case you might be onto something. But until we get the evidence, we got nothing. So to just humor you, I'm going to say this. Imagine if former Secretary of State Denise Merrill thought, how can we ensure that we get as many votes as possible? And the laundering of people's driver's license information to get them registered to vote when they're not allowed, putting them on the voter rolls so that those individuals can then vote in said election, because everybody's got something to lose, right? Or something to gain for that matter. If you do it inside the Department of Motor Vehicles, nobody notices. It's just a glitch in the system. Now, I don't know if that was intentional or whether or not it was negligence. Come on, you know I don't think it's negligence.
Thank you. I'm going to say, don't. Everybody looked at their radio right now. I was like, really, Reese?
I didn't cut their eyes.
Oh, you wanna feed us that crap? Fine.
I am not. I'm trying to give people the benefit of the doubt. But listen, it was brought up and everyone defended it in the beginning. They were just like, no, there's no way. It's impossible. Well, it's not impossible. Clearly, it's not impossible. And it begs the question, how deep does the rabbit hole go? And I don't care that they're saying that it's been changed. They told Vin Candelora, I asked him yesterday, what did they tell you at the DMV? They said they don't process them all on the same page anymore. They're lying to you, Vin, because I printed this morning directly from the DMV website because I have to renew my license. I got to renew my license from Texas to Connecticut, and it's right there, drive only at the top of the page. So they haven't stopped doing it. They better stop now. You want to hear the other messed up part is, Rozan?
Sure.
Guess what else I found out? The records only go back 6 years. Yep. That means we may be right at that window where it closes.
Well, that's interesting because of what I pointed out on the voter registration card.
What was that?
So when you look at Section 1A on the top of the registration, it says, let me go back to it. Basically, when you go to 10 and you look down and you're like, okay, what are you doing here? It says that you're requesting to register, and it says what is the name that you were registered under previously. So 1A says check all boxes that apply. New voter registration is what was checkmarked. 1B, are you a U.S. citizen? Yes. Will you be 18 before Election Day? Yes. All right, and then it gives you his name, Sekunjanen Syed, date of birth they've got blocked out, driver's license number they got blocked out. His home address is wide open for everybody to see. But if you go all the way down to Section 10.
5 seconds.
Name and address change. Under name which previously registered.
Yep, gotta go. We'll finish this up on the other half. Stand by. News is coming up.
This is WTIC News Talk 1080 with Brian and Company in the morning, Reese on the radio in the afternoon, and news around the clock. WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford and Odyssey Station.
84 degrees, sunny at 3. I'm Dave Mager. WTIC 1080 News, high in the mid-80s, dry and beautiful today, low in the mid-50s tonight. President Trump tells Axios he's considering a massive attack on Iran beyond what's been done over the last 2 weeks of fighting.
Trump claims that Iran wants to come back to the table, but that he's not yet willing to negotiate, saying they haven't received enough pain yet.
ABC's Mary Bruce. In fact, Iran has been on the offensive, targeting a city in northern Iraq where U.S. forces are stationed. U.S.-led forces shot down 5 explosive drones there. Sirens also rang out in Bahrain. The U.S. struck a Revolutionary Guard naval base in northern Iran. Democratic Congressman Jim Himes says the U.S. is in a worse position than it was under the failed Memorandum of Understanding, and he's concerned Iran would have leverage in any talks.
Iran has now learned that they really control the negotiating table because the president understands that he cannot sustain $5 a gallon gasoline going into the election. As I feared many months ago when the president started this war, the way out is going to be a very bad deal that will benefit the Iranians and will not benefit the rest of the world.
After a week on the rise, oil prices are down today. U.S. crude down 3%, Brent crude dropping 4% to $96 a barrel. AAA says gas is at an average $4.10 per gallon, up 12 cents from last week. About 50 people displaced from their homes after a huge fire at the Ashwood Valley condos in Danbury. More from WTIC's John Silva.
The call went out about 4 p.m. Thursday. Firefighters found flames shooting from the structure. When the fire went to a second alarm, one person had to be rescued from a balcony using a ground ladder. They were taken to Danbury Hospital for treatment, as were 3 others and a firefighter, who were also taken for evaluation. Danbury fire officials say part of the structure collapsed. About 60 firefighters from Danbury, Brookfield, and Stony Hill responded. Additional coverage was provided by neighboring departments from Ridgefield, New Fairfield, Bethel, and Newtown. They had the fire under control in about 2 hours. There's no word yet on a cause. John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Home sales around the country were up in June, surprising analysts.
Despite mortgage rates that have climbed to 6.58% on a 30-year note, new home sales reached an annualized 628,000 units in June, eclipsing the previous month's 618,000. The same report from the Census Bureau shows that the median sales price of new houses sold last month fell 3.3% to $398,300.
ABC's Jim Ryan. On Wall Street, the Dow up 178 points, S&P dropping barely a point. The NASDAQ is down 161. And we check the WTIC forecast.
It'll be nice out there for the rest of this afternoon with plenty of sunshine. We'll be heading up to a high of 84 degrees. And clear out there tonight, a little on the cool side as we head down to a low of 56. A beautiful start to the weekend as we head into tomorrow. Plenty of sunshine on the way. The high tomorrow 84 degrees, mainly clear tomorrow night, low 56. Then the nice weather continues on Sunday with a mostly sunny sky. The high Sunday 86. As we head into Monday, more humid with sunshine mixing with a few clouds. Monday's high up to 85 degrees, and a cold front moves in on Tuesday. That's going to bring plenty of clouds. A little more humidity out there for Tuesday with a thunderstorm in 1 or 2 spots. The high Tuesday 81. The rain and a few thunderstorms can continue into Wednesday with highs in the lower 80s. This is meteorologist Isaac Longley in the WTIC Weather Center.
84 degrees and sunny now with very little humidity. The Celtics really started something when they traded the great Jaylen Brown to the Philadelphia 76ers. The Sixers now think they can win a championship. Now 41-year-old LeBron James has signed on to do just that. James, 2 years, $8 million with Philly, according to ESPN's Shams Charania. Red Sox and Blue Jays at Fenway, pregame 6:10 on WTIC. Patrick Sandoval on the mound for Boston. Yankees at Philadelphia. The Mets host the Dodgers. The Yard Goats in Richmond. And there's Banana Ball at Duncan Park. The WNBA three-point competition tonight in Chicago. Former UConn great Azzi Fudd, now of the Dallas Wings, will be part of that. For more, check out WTIC.com. I'm Dave Mager. WTIC 1080 News.
I'm Ultima Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Every time one of my children started driving, it was terrifying. I am quite aware of the dangers being on the road. Thousands of accidents happen across the country. We see it every day. These families' lives will be changed in an instant. We fight for these families as if they were our own. We've become America's largest injury law firm by winning cases just like these. If you've been injured in a car accident, call us.
Injured? Dial pound law.
Nicholas Russo, 157 Church Street, New Haven, 06510.
All new drinks are now at McDonald's, with refreshers like the Strawberry Watermelon Refresher and the Mango Pineapple Refresher with popping boba, to crafted sodas like the Sprite Berry Blast with berry flavors and cold foam. Who knew ice-cold drinks could be so fire? 6 all-new drinks are here, now at McDonald's.
Refreshers contain caffeine.
WTIC News Talk 1080 is celebrating America's 250th birthday all month long. So we're asking, what does being American mean to you?
To be American means that I can live how I feel to live, as long as not infringing upon other people, to pray to whom I would like to pray to exist without being threatened or harmed, be a vital part of any environment here, as long as I am a value added. I feel that that's what it means to be an American.
This American moment is sponsored by Cussin Automotive.
Attention all dog owners. If you have ever listened to the radio or TV for any length of time, you've probably heard of America's #1 dog supplement, Rough Greens. Greetings, naturopathy Dr. Dennis Black, Amazon best-selling author and founder of Rough Greens here. And if your dog suffers from bad breath, itchy skin, licking paws, joint pain, or low energy, the truth is their food is probably to blame. You see, all commercial dog food is dead food. That's why I created Rough Greens. One daily scoop gives your pup the live vitamins, omega oils, probiotics, and enzymes that will bring their food back to life. Don't believe me? Let your dog try it before you buy it. I'll send you a free Jumpstart trial bag, risk-free. You just cover the shipping. Go to roughgreens.com. That's RUFFgreens.com. Use discount code NEWS. Don't wait. Give your dog the gift of vibrant health. Order now. It'll be at your house in a few days. Go to roughgreens.com. That's RUFFgreens.com. Discount code NEWS for your free Jumpstart trial bag today. Rough Green. We make any dog food better.
Reese on the radio, making sense of the news. Yeah, even when it makes no sense at all. Now on WTIC News Talk 1080.
We're supposed to be getting a phone call from Senate Minority Leader Stephen Harding in a second. But I want to thank Joe for sending this information to me. Mark Walsh should probably give Len Bestoff a holler, because even he was telling us back in 2019 that the DMV had a drive-only problem. And it went a little something like this.
It is a program designed to keep drivers on the road safe, but it could be rife with fraud. NBC Connecticut Investigates has uncovered thousands of potentially fraudulent driver's licenses stemming from a program to help undocumented immigrants stay street legal. Here's Len Bestoff with our exclusive investigation.
Drive-only licenses for undocumented immigrants in Connecticut allow people to operate a vehicle legally. All it takes to get one, a passport or foreign ID, a couple of bills for proof of address, and pass a safe driving course. But we've uncovered a memo saying numerous people are getting these licenses using fake addresses.
Nellie Mendoza of Bridgeport says her Connecticut drive-only license changed her life.
Ha cambiado mi vida de una manera enorme.
It has changed my life enormously. So now I can do many things, like take my kids to school and go grocery shopping.
Tens of thousands of undocumented immigrants like Mendoza have benefited from the drive-only license program.
Now serving the 242 at Station 22.
But we've uncovered there are major concerns about the drive-only program few have heard about until now. NBC Connecticut Investigates obtained via a Freedom of Information request a June 2018 Department of Motor Vehicles internal memo titled address fraud meeting minutes. It says the DMV's Document Integrity Unit is aware of numerous people with drive-only licenses who got them by submitting fake proof of address documents, often utility or consumer lending bills.
I had knowledge of license issues.
It's something confirmed by a former DMV employee who says he knows about the investigation and wants to remain anonymous.
It's very easy to make up a bill that looks legit, and again, it's not checked. There's no verification of these bills.
The internal memo says DMV investigators spotted patterns where people would use home addresses other than their own, including commercial ones, for their drive-only licenses. At first, the agency thought as many as 30,000 people could be doing this, but narrowed that down to 9,000 individuals they are now investigating.
So it isn't like anyone doesn't know.
Yeah, but it's illegal, so they wouldn't do it because they don't want to, whatever. I don't know.
What? Wait, I'm like, what? What is going on? It's nothing?
It's nothing.
It's nothing?
Yeah.
It's a one-off?
Relax.
DMV's fine?
You're reading too much into it. Isn't that what Lamont said?
Yeah, exactly. Wait a minute. But I went and go to check, based on this story from 2019, what remedies had been placed in the DMV since this investigation. Want to take a wild guess?
They made it easier.
No.
Oh.
No. Zero.
Oh. Well.
Zero. There's been no documented evidence, no documented reports that they clarified what's going on at the DMV with drive-only licenses. Nothing. I know. I got him right now. Let me get him on the line. On the line with us is none other than the Senate Minority Leader. His name is Stephen Harding. He's on the line with us now. How you doing, big guy? How are you? Oh, wait a minute. There's your bone. How you doing, sir? Are you there? No. Did I not pick up? Wait a minute. There we go. Stephen?
Oh.
Hey.
Now I hear
How
you.
you doing,
Yes.
Senator? I'm sorry about that. Yeah, I pushed the wrong line.
No worries.
How are you, sir? You okay?
I'm well. But I'm glad you have me on, and I think you're hitting on some important points that Democrats in the state just do not take. Democrats across the country, but particularly here in this state, do not take this seriously.
What do you think of this? What do you think?
fraud
Len
seriously.
Bestoff was on this story with problems with the Department of Motor Vehicle and drive-only licenses back in 2019. They originally thought there were 30,000 people who may have fraudulently received one of these licenses. Now they say the number's only 9,000. And don't forget, this is less than a year after what we're learning now from the Hartford Current was when Seo's Secunjanin and another woman named Meryl, what was her name? I'm sorry, I forgot the woman's name, but another woman out of Coscob clearly was put on the voter rolls.
Right. So clearly there's something wrong here. And for someone to say, look the other way, there's nothing to see here, that's the problem. That is the problem. I mean, mistakes happen, fine. But if this governor were serious, if Democrats in the state were serious about this, as they should be, then they would have been saying, look, we're going to look into this. We're going to find out what exactly happened here, and then we're going to implement measures to make sure it does not happen again. And the fact that isn't uttered from any Democrat's mouth is mind-boggling. Because that's all you have to say. That's all you got to say in this situation is we're going to put parameters in place to make sure it doesn't happen again. They won't even say that.
That was the crazy part.
That's how out of touch they are. That's how out of touch they are. They won't even utter the words, we're going to put measures in place to stop it.
Well, I got to give props to as far as the other side of the aisle to Richard Blumenthal, because I just got this in my chat room. Someone said that Fox News just did a story on this morning. They reached out to Matt Blumenthal. He had no response. I called Richard Blumenthal the day we found out about this. His folks said, we're going to look into it and we'll get back to you. Those two are the only ones who at least said, hey, I'm saying nothing. Representative John Larson came back and said he's upset that the Republican Town Committee of West Hartford doxed Seo, when, again, we wouldn't even know who he was if it weren't for John Larson. That's the crazy part.
Correct.
And Lamont tells us that this is a one-off, but we have documented evidence that this is nowhere near a one-off.
And not for nothing, Reese. So yeah, this is not a one-off. We have documented proof that it's not a one-off. And then just 2 years ago, we had so much fraud that an independent judge, had to order a brand new election in Bridgeport.
That's correct.
So, like, what world are we living in here where these are all just considered one-offs?
Yeah.
I mean, and at what point are Democrats going to take this seriously? And I think the answer is clearly never.
Right.
Clearly never. Because when you're not even willing to acknowledge the fact that, hey, this is wrong, we're going to correct this, that means that you have no belief that this needs to be corrected. And for whatever reason, you're perfectly happy with the status quo on this. And this is exactly why measures that Republicans in Hartford have put in place, like voter ID for absentee ballots, which we proposed after what happened in Bridgeport and the embarrassment it was for our state, was shot down on party lines. That is something, and you talk about it on your show, that is supported across the state in a bipartisan measure.
Yeah.
Almost everyone in the country and state believe we should have voter ID. It's a really basic thing. It would create tons of integrity and confidence in our elections, and the Democrats are unwilling to do that. And then on top of that, Reese, you're like this. We even put a measure in to say that you have to serve mandatory minimum jail time if you're convicted of voter fraud.
Yes.
Shocker, voted down on party lines.
Can I tell you?
When you're not even willing to penalize individuals that are convicted of voter fraud, you're not willing to tackle this issue in any way, shape, or form.
Do you know what's a clear example of everything you just said? And both of those things happen right here on this show. Because the point you just made was the overwhelming support for the idea that we should have voter ID, no matter what your political stripes are. We're talking at an average of 71 to 75%. We're talking about black, Hispanic, white, and overall, no matter your political ideology wants it. That's one. Two, here are the Democrats, of course, arguing no kings, ignoring the will of the people, refusing to have that particular thing added by signing the Save America Act. And then you have Luke Bronin, who comes on my program and says, and I quote, he does not work for the will of the people. He goes to Washington to do what he thinks is just for the people he represents, which if there's nothing in the world that is more emblematic of where Democrats are in this day, there you have it.
Well, you know what it is? It's I'm smarter than you all, and that's kind of the Democratic attitude, right? It's we're no, you don't see it my way because you're not as smart as I am.
Well, they're
and
highly educated.
If that type of arrogance is not expressed to you in any way, shape, or form, then by Luke Cronin saying, I'm going to go to D.C. to do what I want because I guess I'm smarter than all of you that elect me.
And I couldn't believe it. I couldn't have asked him more times to try to bail him out and say, so you don't do the will of the people? He was like, no, just flat out no, which again explains exactly why voter ID is something they're going to ignore no matter what their constituents say. They're just going to go, no, we know better, or we just out refuse. And I'll go one step further. I totally forgot to mention this. While that is happening, this very state would sign a bill that would expand the fraud by having no excuse absentee ballots for everyone.
Think about that. Yeah. So we have the one of the biggest embarrassments for election purposes in our state's history happened in Bridgeport, where again it was so fraught with fraud that a judge had to order a brand new election. It was that embarrassing for our state. And then at the same exact time, we say, you know what we should do? Let's expand it now. Let's expand that program that was exposed for fraud. I mean, how out of touch you can be. So when we as Republicans came up and said, okay, fine, you guys want to do that, you at least got to put some of these common sense measures in to make sure this doesn't happen again. No. And it is completely out of touch with the people they represent and the 90% of people that believe in common sense here in this state.
It is absolutely insane. Again, I cannot understand how these people would run on the same nonsense. It is imperative that we beat these folks at the ballot box, but we have got to make, those points alone say that, look, we have representation in the state in this Democrat supermajority who are openly telling you they don't give a damn about what benefits you. If you watch the debate, which I'm sure you did, Senator,
yes.
One of the things that I found striking, and this is probably your first opportunity to respond to that debate, what I found striking was that when Mike Cirilli of WTNH asked the governor about the 40% of people who are planning on leaving the state in the next 5 years, he only argued that we're not that high in taxes. We would only go higher if Josh Elliott were to be governor, and then never talked about what he is doing or what he has done to lower the tax burden on people who wish to flee.
Yeah, so I'm happy you bring this up, Reese. So you have an hour-long debate.
Yeah.
Okay. This is a state that has the second highest electric bills.
Yeah.
Third highest property taxes. Third highest income taxes.
Mm-hmm.
If you speak with anybody, their number one issue, for the most part, for good reason, particularly here in Connecticut, is affordability.
Yep.
You have a Democratic debate that goes on for an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Not one point, not one sentence was ever uttered about reducing your electric bill or reducing your taxes.
No.
I mean, again, talking about out of touch. And I think I'm happy you said this, Reese, because it's so important. There is a level of arrogance in the Democratic Party currently in this state. They believe they can say and do anything and get elected.
Exactly.
They've grown their majorities over the past decade, despite the fact they've raised taxes, despite the fact that literally people are leaving this state because they can't afford to live here. And until Republicans start getting elected and Democrats start losing their seats up in Hartford, this is only going to get worse. And I think it needs to be made clear to your listeners and voters across our state that the only way you're going to get respectable government that's going to listen to you, Democrat or Republican, is if you make it more balanced.
Yeah.
Until that happens, we're going to continue to get more of the same.
Yeah, because you're 100% right. Voting for Democrats again and again and again is a permission slip for more of the nonsense they just gave you for the last 4 years. I mean, that's all it is. Correct. You're telling them, can I have some more, can I have some more of my taxes being taken from me? Please make me leave the state faster. If you can't hold these folks accountable, I said this when that poll came out in the New Hampshire poll that said that people should, 40% of people are planning on leaving in the next 5 years. I said, hey, listen, before you go, could you at least vote red? So by the time you leave, we can change this thing. Perhaps
leave it a better place.
Yeah, leave it a better place
exactly
than you left it.
Yes.
Because at least if you're not going to leave for the next 5 years, if you give it to us for the next 5 years, perhaps we can convince you to cancel the U-Haul reservation. You know what I mean?
It's so right. And the sad part is by voting Democrat this year, it is certifying that you think it's acceptable that we have the second highest electric rates and third highest income tax.
Yeah, say, give me more.
This is a party that's been in unilateral control of state government since I was in high school. And so clearly this is on them. And so if you vote Democrat, you're saying it's perfectly acceptable to have policies like this. If you think otherwise, you need to vote Republican. It's really that simple.
Yeah, absolutely. Senator, thank you again. I appreciate the time. Please
always a pleasure, Reese.
Inform us whatever you get from this DMV. I know that Vin Candelara, the minority leader, is also trying to get an audit here. If you know anything about that, where are we? Are we going to get that audit?
I certainly am going to join him in that effort, and I hope we do. I mean, for transparency purposes, I think it's necessary here. I mean, you know, 2 people already. How many more are out there? And particularly what happened in New Jersey, I think it's necessary.
Yeah, to say that, and that's the one part. When the governor says that this is a one-off, and now we know based upon this article that came out in 2018 in a Hartford Current, 2 articles, I might say 6 days apart, on one woman in essentially getting done to her the same thing that happened to the Seo guy. That's within 1 month in the same year. That means that it couldn't have been a 2-off. We clearly have a problem, and that's what we call a pattern.
Basic math dictates this is not just 2 people.
Yeah.
And I think the audit would find that. And so it's necessary to do it here.
Exactly, sir. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Thanks, Reese. Always a pleasure.
You got it, man. Stephen Harding, ladies and gentlemen, we always appreciate him supporting the show and showing up on the program. Rozan, did you read this article about the whole 2018 and the woman who got on the voter rolls?
I did not, no.
Okay. So to give a breakdown of what all of this is saying, for those of you who are just joining us, the bottom line is that one of 3 things happened here. You walk into the DMV and you are not a legal resident and you go in to get a drive-only license. You hand in this paperwork, which, again, the most important thing is you just want to be able to drive because you're like this woman in the Len Bestoff piece, or you're an Uber driver. This allows you the legal opportunity to drive Uber. You fill this thing out. Yes, it does. Oh, yeah, that's in the story.
Yeah, but they're not legally authorized to work in the United States, which you need to be able to do in order to drive with Uber. Like when I was driving Lyft and Uber, I had to prove that I was a legal citizen of the United States.
Not according to this story. You want to hear the rest of it? We might as well play the rest of it.
God.
Yeah, let's play the rest of it.
Ongoing investigation that they're still looking at.
DMV Deputy Commissioner Tony Guerrero admits it's a potentially serious problem.
It could be serious. Again, it could be. But that's, again, we have to go through the process of looking into it because, again, you went from 30,000 to 9,000. It could be whittled down to 1,000 to 500.
So far, the DMV has revoked drive-only licenses from 87 people in this investigation. The memo says they listed their home address as one of 5 commercial locations in Shelton, New Haven, Norwalk, and Berlin. It also alleges that these individuals may have received fraudulent licenses with the assistance of attorneys. DMV employees familiar with the program told us they have serious concerns. Talking with NBC Connecticut investigates off camera for fear of retribution. One said, "It surprises me that the higher-ups don't seem concerned about this. I'm pretty sure on countless times examiners have brought them documents that seem fishy and they're just getting pushed through." The 87 drive-only license holders whose credentials were revoked must pay $175 if they want to reapply for a drive-only license. The former DMV employee who spoke with us says anyone who submits phony documents to get a license should face criminal charges like fraud.
The DMV doesn't do anything to combat that. All they do is revoke.
There's a fine to it, and they have to go through the process.
Is that really enough, though? I mean, basically, you've given us a fraudulent address, and now, here, pay this money, and you can get your license now. Is that
again,
really right?
That's what the statute says, that's what the law is, and that's what we're doing.
Uber driver Luis Ramirez of New Haven has a drive-only license.
When the program passed, oh my God, I was very happy, man.
And believes the problems with the drive-only licenses are probably true. Still, he urges state leaders to fix the program and not get rid of it.
In the state, there is no job opportunities if you don't have transportation.
There's no timeline on when this DMV investigation gets completed. The DMV memo says there were law offices at all the addresses used by the 87 people who had their licenses revoked.
That's probably the NGOs. We got to come back to this when we return. Plus, we'll take some phone calls. So double check that with Uber or Lyft or any of those, what you have to do to prove that that's an incredible story. If indeed he was able to be an Uber driver with a drive. Oh, that's shady. We'll be back. Stick around. It's Reese on the radio.
Eat it up, the Hartford Yard Goats. Eat it up.
The Yard Goats are back home Tuesday, July 28th for 6 straight games, and it's jam-packed. We've got 90s night with a kids' jersey giveaway, First Responders Night, Whalers Alumni Game, fireworks on Friday and Saturday, and Kids Run the Bases on Sunday. Yard Goats Baseball is the most affordable family entertainment in Connecticut. Find out why Newsweek named Duncan Park Best Ballpark in America.
There's a lot happening in Washington and in your local neighborhood. Follow WTIC News Talk 1080 on the Odyssey app to keep up with the latest.
Well, it's official. My friends have all switched to Pure Talk because I told them they could save a bunch of money on a super reliable high-speed network with unlimited data. And because they're my friends, they trust me. As for the rest of you, well, Pure Talk understands that even though you might like me, you're not just going to take my word for it, nor should you. For that reason, and for a very limited time, Pure Talk is offering any of their plans for just $15 a month for the first 3 months, including their top-tier unlimited plan that normally sells for $65 a month. Think of it like a test drive, a super simple way to save $150 while you kick the tires on Pure Talk's blazing fast network, and a fine way to see for yourself why I switched from big wireless, along with a few 100,000 of my closest friends. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and be connected to Pure Talk's friendly U.S. customer service team. Again, dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and let the savings begin.
When it comes to our cars, those infotainment screens, turbos, advanced transmissions, and cameras are all great until they fail. And if your car is out of warranty, repairing them can cost thousands. I'm Danica Patrick. If your car is less than 20 years old, no matter the mileage, make sure you're covered for auto repair bills with an auto protection plan from Endurance. They've paid out hundreds of millions in claims and helped drivers with plans that cover engine, drivetrain, electrical system, transmission, and more. Endurance gives you straightforward claims processing and direct payment to your certified mechanic. And your rate won't go up no matter how many claims you file. When your check engine light comes on, don't ignore it because you're worried about a big auto repair bill. Call Endurance and choose the plan that's right for you. Act now and get 1 year of elite benefits, a $2,000 value, free.
For your fast free quote, call 800-689-1536. 800-689-1536. 800-689-1536.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at EnduranceWarranty.com.
And now, a WTIC news update.
84 degrees, 3:30. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News. High in the mid-80s, dry, beautiful today. Low in the mid-50s tonight. Back to the mid-80s and dry again tomorrow. President Trump just can't quit tariffs, despite the Supreme Court ruling that he says he doesn't have the power to issue them. He announced a new round of sales taxes on American taxpayers yesterday on goods from 60 countries. University of Michigan economics professor Justin Wolfers tells ABC News.
The United States is in the process of isolating itself from the rest of the world. It makes our economy less dynamic. It means that American companies don't have to compete so hard anymore. And so don't be surprised if you'll be paying higher prices even for American-made goods because they're no longer going to be competing with others.
There's already a libertarian lawsuit against the new tariffs in federal court in New York. Trump also now says the U.S. will investigate trade practices in the EU, claiming Google, Apple, and other tech giants have been unfairly fined. A Danbury woman in court this morning charged in the death of her newborn son. His remains were found in a Stamford recycling plant in 2018. Dominique Harrison faces a count of murder with special circumstances. Police say they used DNA over a number of years to track down the mother and father. Court documents say Harrison repeatedly changed her story, but eventually admitted giving birth after hiding the pregnancy from her family and the father. The case has been continued until mid-September, Harrison being held on $2.5 million bond. 41-year-old LeBron James is following former Celtics great Jaylen Brown to Philadelphia.
LeBron James says he believes he can help make the Philadelphia 76ers a championship team. The four-time NBA champion called it his last decision and that it comes after he strongly considered retirement.
The AP's Ed Donahue, it's a modest 2-year, $8 million deal, according to ESPN. Hartford police confirm a double shooting at about 2 a.m. on Main Street in the city's northeast. The victims were dropped off at the hospital in private vehicles. A man in his 20s in critical condition at last report. A man in his 30s in critical but stable condition. On Wall Street, the Dow up 169, S&P down 5 points, the NASDAQ dropping 183. And we check the WTIC forecast.
It'll be pleasant out there for the rest of this afternoon with plenty of sunshine, the high up to 84 degrees. Then clear out there for tonight. A little on the cool side. We'll be heading down to a low of 56. The nice weather continues tomorrow. Plenty of sunshine once again. The high tomorrow 84, mainly clear tomorrow night, low 56. And as we work our way into Sunday, that nice weather is going to continue with a mostly sunny sky and the high of 86. This is meteorologist Isaac Longley in the WTIC Weather Center.
84 degrees and sunny right now. Red Sox and Blue Jays at Fenway, pregame 6:10 on WTIC. Yankees in Philadelphia, the Mets host the Dodgers, the Yard Goats in Richmond, and there's Banana Ball again at Duncan Park. For more, check out WTIC.com. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News.
Don Cussin here. In partnership with Napa Auto Parts and Auto Care Shops Coast to Coast, we have raised over $14 million since 2012 for the Intrepid Fallen Heroes Fund. Through the end of September, a portion of every Cussin repair invoice will be donated to the fund. The fund was designed to help those armed forces and their families that are dealing with traumatic brain injury and post-traumatic stress. The fund has the experience required to get our heroes back to service or home safely. I thank you all for your trust and patronage in all that we do.
Cussin Automotive, we're all American.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Make sure your family is well taken care of with life insurance. Protect your phones, laptops, and more with electronic device insurance. And cover your furry friends with pet health insurance.
Hi, I'm Dr. Mary Claire Haver, a board-certified OBGYN and menopause specialist. My new podcast, Unpaused, is the place for bold, unfiltered conversations about what it really takes for women to thrive in the second half of life. Every week, I sit down with medical experts, cultural icons, and powerhouse women to talk about what really matters. New episodes drop every Tuesday. Listen to and follow Unpaused with me, Dr. Mary Claire Haver, available now wherever you get your podcasts.
Life takes unexpected turns, doesn't it? Divorce, the loss of a loved one, a personal injury, losing your job. Suddenly, you're searching for someone new you can trust to guide you through. But what if you didn't have to start over? What if your legal team already understood you? At BPS Lawyers, we're more than just lawyers. We're a full-service law firm that's been part of this community since 1977. BPS Lawyers, your lawyers for life. Visit bpslawyers.com or call 860-CALL-BPS. Nick Painderis is responsible for the content of this ad.
Hi, this is Eric Hogarth with Money Wisdom. This weekend we'll talk about retirement. Namely, how much does it cost to have a great or a mediocre one? We're also going to talk about that same question relative to 1996. Tune in this weekend to TIC News Talk 1080.
I'm John Morgan. There are many reasons to hire Morgan & Morgan for your injury case. Reason number 3. First, all lawyers are not the same. If my family had an injury case and I couldn't hire us, there are only about 3 to 4% of the lawyers out there that I would hire. And here's why. Most of them rarely, if ever, go to trial. They just take the last best offer. Hell, you can do that yourself. Do this. If you're looking for a lawyer, Google Morgan & Morgan results and see what comes up. It may shock you. Then Google the firm you're thinking of hiring and do the same. That may shock you as well. We became the largest injury firm in the world for a reason. We won a lot. $30 billion and counting. Morgan & Morgan. For the people.com. Who would I hire? I'd hire us.
Injured? Dial pound law.
Nicholas Russo, 157 Church Street, New Haven, 06510.
When it comes to affordable term life insurance, everyone's whistling the Big Lou tune. If you're over 50, maybe a bit porky, or have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost about $200 a month. Even if you're not in perfect health, call Big Lou, because he specializes in finding big chunks of affordable term life insurance for just about everyone. Don't let diabetes or other health glitches keep you from owning $500,000 to $1 million or more of term life insurance. For affordable term life insurance, call Big Lou. Don't hesitate. Call 800-700-6898, 800-700-6898, or visit biglou.com.
Call Big Lou, don't hesitate. 800-700-6898. Call Big Lou, don't hesitate. 800-700-6898. Visit biglou.com.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Tech, sponsored by Lenseek.
Meta Platforms is reportedly close to producing its own AI processors as the company looks to ramp up its computing power. Reuters reports that Mark Zuckerberg wants Meta's computing power to double to 14 gigawatts next year, which amounts to 20% of current global data center capacity. The report says Meta is working with Broadcom on the chip design and Taiwan Semiconductor for manufacturing, with production beginning in September. I'm Jason Brooks.
If you own a business, you've heard it all. From fast funding to easy approvals, everyone says the same thing. Lenseek is different. We show you what you actually qualify for. Lenseek's AI-enabled platform matches you with funding options with no guesswork. Up to $5 million in as fast as 24 hours. If you've been in business over a year, doing at least $50,000 per month, apply for free with zero out-of-pocket costs and access to over 100 lenders. Start ready, stay ready. Lenseek.com. LENDSEEK.com.
Spider-Man, Spider-Man. Hey, he's your friendly neighborhood Reese on the radio. Right now on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
We're back. Reese on the radio, Rozan on the radio. What are you working on over there, Rozan?
It's actually a little disturbing.
What you got?
So I was looking up to see, in that piece he said that part of the reason that these illegals were getting a drive-only test was to drive Lyft and Uber.
That particular gentleman, yes.
Right. Lyft, Uber, DoorDash, Grubhub, Instacart, Amazon Flex. Amazon Flex is the one where you can deliver Amazon packages in your own vehicle.
Okay.
Right? All of those require a Social Security number.
Mm.
They will not accept an ITIN.
Mhm.
The reason they need a social security number is because they require a background check. Part of that background check includes your driving record, criminal history, and a sex offender registry.
Ooh.
So I just want to say, in light of all of the Lyft and Uber lawsuits for sex offenders, I wonder how many of them were using fraudulent social security numbers.
Because this brings up, now, again, that whole line about Uber with this person using a drive only, this is, again, where we're not seeing the security or security failures happening in all of this. Nothing against the guy who's in this piece. It's from 2019. But the bottom line is that Uber went through a huge lawsuit many years ago, right? For this
Not
exact.
many. It's only been probably about 5 or 7 years.
Okay, all right. I did consider many years ago to be about 5 years ago, but that's fine. Yes, but it was, in essence, there were situations where there was abuse happening with Uber drivers, and they had
violently attacking young female
riders,
right.
passengers. And that was because there were security measures. And in fact, Uber has been forced to sort of update its security platform. In
Right,
essence,
like-
alert your friends that you're in
not
the
even
car.
that. And not only that, but your driver and you, it now records your phone and their
Right.
phone while in the course of the drive.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and the only one that has access to that recording is Lyft and Uber.
Mm-hmm.
They're the only ones. So it's monitoring what's going on inside the vehicle.
Right.
Which I thought at first was like, it's a little creepy, but then I thought, you know what? I'd rather they record my cheesy conversation rather
Right.
than,
Yeah,
find
usually-
my body somewhere in the woods.
Yeah, you're not going to have an explicit conversation while you're riding in an Uber.
Well, I think if you're worried about being your interactions being recorded, then what are you doing?
Right.
Like if you're doing something wrong, that would be the reason why you'd be worried about your innocent interaction being recorded.
I would say that because you're in that situation, you are technically in the public, right? You have no right to privacy when you're in the public.
Right, but see, you're looking at it as a right to privacy. I'm looking at it more as a safety concern.
No, I
the
think you can have
driver-
both.
If you're the driver and you don't want your interaction with your passenger recorded, why?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
and
exactly.
as a woman who sometimes has to use Lyft and Uber, I would rather you have video of me sitting quietly playing a game on my phone
Mhm.
and recording of that rather than, well, we have no idea what happened.
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah.
But in this, the fact that a drive-only license can be used in this capacity with Uber and Lyft.
It can't be.
Okay, so it cannot be.
I found this happening a lot in San Antonio in particular.
Okay.
When I would order groceries, and the reason I stopped using Instacart was I would order the groceries. It'd send me a picture of my driver. It's usually a young woman, but there's a grown man standing at my door who doesn't speak English handing me groceries. And I'm going, I don't know what your intentions are, sir.
I know a lot of people who worked at DoorDash who did the same thing.
Right.
They'd be with their significant other driving around.
Well, not only that's irrelevant, right? But the simple fact that you use somebody else's identity to obtain this job,
Mm-hmm.
that is scary.
Mm-hmm.
So, you're looking at it from your perspective as a man. Oh, you're driving around with your girlfriend.
No, I'm just saying
looking at
that I
this-
know people who do
I'm
that.
looking at this as a woman.
A safety concern. It is.
I'm looking at this as a woman who is in a far more vulnerable position in life.
I understand.
Right? I can be walking down the street and be accosted and have terrible things happen to me. The same thing could happen to you, but you are far less likely to be the victim who dies because of your inability to protect yourself. Because, as a woman, somebody knocks on my door to drop off my groceries or drop off my Chinese food, and I'm expecting, little Bethany, and instead here comes Jamarcus, and he's 17 feet tall and weighs 300 pounds, and next thing you know, Rozan's dead, and there's like Chinese food smeared all over the wall.
You paint quite a picture there, Rozan.
Because those things happen.
No, I'm not disputing that. I just, pardon me for not going in a dark place.
Right. Well, that's why these parameters are put in place.
Right.
And knowing that illegals are taking their driver's license and however it is that they're going about obtaining employment through
Lyft,
Lyft, Uber, DoorDash, Grubhub, Instacart, Amazon Flex, however they're doing that is fraudulent and putting the public at risk.
It's funny how we just keep going down further and further another rabbit hole in all of this.
Because this is what people aren't understanding. You got all these rich white people in Manhattan and in Greenwich and, the nursing homes. Oh, we need to let all illegals in. You're not thinking about these things. It's all fun and games until somebody kills your grandbaby who delivered, who ordered DoorDash. It's all fun and games then, until then. These are the things that people aren't thinking about. Who is now teaching in your schools? What about that illegal alien that became the Board of Education director?
Oh, my goodness, yeah.
And was it Chicago?
I can't remember, but I know it was in the Midwest.
Right. And he's an illegal alien.
Yeah.
And he's over here leading our children. You have
when the ICE chased him down, he had a gun in the car.
In his car, on a campus.
Yeah.
You are allowing these people around your children? Who knows who he victimized? Who knows who he's terrified into not talking? We have no idea who these animals are. It's bad enough we have American citizens doing it. Now we're introducing more unvetted, unknown, like this guy Sekunjanin. That's the name they're going by, but we don't know how he initially entered the country and what name he's using.
And I think that's another interesting part in this story, especially with the politicians who are now really quiet, who won't say a word, who were all up in arms, calling the press, sending out press releases, telling
Bringing
everyone.
His children in front of cameras.
And saying, come on down and listen to us scream and holler about how we care about, the unwashed masses who are yearning to be free in our country. And then, after we find out that there's everything wrong with said individual, when you go to them and you ask them, what say you now? It's mum's the word.
Right. It beckons the mind to the Maryland dad.
Mm-hmm.
I just had a conversation with a friend of ours from Virginia.
Yeah.
And she's like, he was an American citizen. I was like, honey, just go ahead and Google it. Oh, he's a citizen of El Salvador, or whatever country he's from.
That's where he's from.
They are telling you what they want you to believe, and then when you go and investigate, you find out, oh, that's not the truth. We have no idea who these people are. No
one can. Look, I've had this argument before. I'll never forget it. I had a debate with someone about this, and I don't like talking politics in a place that isn't politics friendly. So it was someplace that really didn't even need politics. But the person immediately started talking about these people, and he used the term these people, and then followed that up with saying, just want to have a life here in the United States. And I responded to him by saying, that's an interesting use of the word these people. And he goes, what? And I said, if I had said these people only want to rob, rape, and pillage, you would have said that was racist. But because you say they want a better life, it's okay for you to call them these people. Because you can universally say that all of them are good and no one is supposed to bat an eye when you have absolutely no knowledge that they're all good. So when you say these people, please recognize what you are saying in that. So I can use these people now. Yeah, it's still racist, my friend. You don't get to say these people. You don't know them. You've never met them. You are under the assumption that they are good. And that's what all of these politicians do, especially when people like Chris Murphy say something as asinine as the fact that they commit less crimes than your neighbors. And I'm like, I'm going to stop you from maligning my American citizen neighbors one more time.
I've never committed a crime.
Because guess what? The bottom line is this. In entering the country illegally, they have all 100% committed more crimes than our neighbors.
But another point I want to bring up is that, these people in sanctuary states have already identified themselves as illegal. I mean, undocumented, whatever, they're illegals, right? They get driver's licenses, they get this Husky program, they get food benefits, they get medical, they get all this crap, right? Just by saying, I'm not documented. Why isn't anybody helping them get documentation? Why aren't we helping them get legalized? I'll tell you why. Because we spend $1.3 billion annually on these people. said it, these people.
Well, even with that, so I would say this: you're 100% right. If we can spend $1.3 billion on what's the number, 160,000 people,
167,000 illegals and their children.
Okay,
the children aren't counted.
Oh, they aren't.
No.
Okay, so even with that, let's say that the number is, let's round it off. Let's say it's double that. It's 300,000, which I doubt. But let's, for the sake of argument, we got 300,000. Couldn't we easily get those people with the would you say close to $8,000 annually we spend on that?
$8,153.
It costs roughly about $10,000 to $20,000 to become a legal resident in the United States.
And that's not even including the $153 million a year spent on policing and incarcerating illegal aliens. That's just the illegals. If we spent that money on helping them get legal citizenship.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Rather than giving them food stamps and free housing, if we help them get legal citizenship, then they wouldn't be illegal anymore.
Exactly, and they could pay their own way. And they can also, as
they
Lamont
could register to vote.
Yeah, and worse off, as far as Ned Lamont is concerned, we can add them to the tax base.
There we go.
Lower everybody's taxes, because now we just got 167,000 new citizens.
I just want to reiterate that so that everybody hears me. $1.3 billion. That's what Connecticut state taxpayers give to illegal immigrants annually. And just to bring it all into proportion, we spend 153 I don't think that's even right. We spend about $153 million on veterans.
Yeah. It's
billions for illegals, millions for and most of that money comes from the federal government for veterans.
We got to take a break. We'll come back. More news, more views. Mike Grosso of the 71st District, or running in the 71st District, joins us in a little bit. Stand by. It's Reese on the radio.
Escape to casual luxury at Margaritaville Resort Cape Cod, the perfect island-inspired getaway in the heart of Hyannis, Massachusetts. Families will love making waves at Fins Up Water Park, while couples can slow down at the Saint Somewhere Spa, pure tropical bliss. And when the sun goes down, savor coastal flavors and ice-cold drinks at Landshark Bar and Grill. Whether you're chasing thrills or chill, your slice of paradise is waiting. Book your escape today at MargaritavilleResortCapeCod.com.
At Westside Care Center in Manchester, care is personal, specialized, and centered on every resident. Their experienced team provides advanced short-term rehabilitation, convenient on-site dialysis, and compassionate memory care in a warm, supportive environment. Whether recovering after a hospital stay or seeking long-term care, Westside combines clinical expertise with personalized attention to help every resident achieve the best possible quality of life. Westside Care Center, specialized care close to home.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group, and I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney, and the truth is I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney or if I look like an attorney, I'll apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. At Wesley, we've helped over 40,000 families cancel their timeshare without me being an attorney. And I want to share with you how we do it. Just give my office a call, and you will not talk to an attorney. And I guarantee if we take you as a client, we'll get you out of your timeshare, or you'll pay nothing.
Call now for your free information kit. 800-714-9090. 800-714-9090. 800-714-9090.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now, there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team. Build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free, and you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
It's Reese on the radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
Hey, we're back. Reese on the radio live on WTIC. And we got Mike Grosso, who's going to be joining us. I'm going to find out in a second whether or not we call him Mike or Michael just for legal reasons. When he's voting, when you're voting for him coming up is it August? Or you don't have you have a primary this August. Yeah, that's right. You do. We talked about that. Hold on. Let me grab a couple of these phone calls real quick. I'm going to start with Dave in Bristol. How are you, sir?
I'm all right, Reese. You caught me. I just started driving. I had to write down a couple things I wanted to touch on. I think as far as, why can't, these undocumented illegals get, accelerated rehabilitation for,
What's an accelerated rehabilitation? Like, in other words, some sort of fast process to become citizens or just removed?
Well, it's used for a lot of different, more or less minor infractions. I wouldn't call this a minor one, but if we give these people that supposedly been here and have a good life and have been doing what they're supposed to do, accelerated rehabilitation, that gives them a year or 2 years to get their paperwork in order, and they move on.
I'll go one step further with you. I think that there should be a process where the politicians here who are willing to support them and to protect them, that they be forced to find a way or a pathway for citizenship for all of them and stop waiting on Washington. They've got to stop using it as a crutch to make an argument in Washington, because all of it is performative. They have no plans. It was like, we tried to sign this bill. We tried to sign that bill. Okay, well, that's not going to serve anybody today. You have people who are living in the state for 20 years. What are you doing with those individuals to get them citizenship today?
That's exactly what I'm saying. With the accelerated rehabilitation thing, that gives you a deadline, maybe a year. Get yourself in order. It kind of puts you on probation.
You know what? You just gave me an idea. Stand by for that. Dave, let me get one more in here before I go to a break. Thank you, buddy. Charlene is calling from New Britain. Hello, Charlene.
Hi, Reese.
Hi.
I just wanted to mention something that President Obama, back on November 4th of 2016, openly encouraged illegals to vote in the 2016 election, assuring them that ICE and federal law wasn't going to go after them.
I was watching that interview, too. He was with a young lady. It was just he and some young woman. They were on some panel talking to an audience where he says, just go to the polling places. No one's going to stop you.
Correct. Now, furthermore, during that interview, it had the iwillvote.com. And so I went to iwillvote.com, and I looked to see what you have to do, and it says first-time voters who registered by mail after January 1st of 2003 and who did not provide required ID with their voter registration, which is kind of scary, must present a copy of a current valid photo identification that shows their name and address, or simply a copy of their current utility bill, bank statement, government check, paycheck, or government document.
Which any Yahoo can get that.
Yes. I mean, and this has been going on, I guess, since 2003, because how can you register to vote without identification?
You're absolutely right. I got to take a break, but thank you, Charlene. I'm glad you held on. I'm going to get to Mike Grosso in a little bit. We'll talk about his campaign, and then we'll get to some phone calls afterwards. You have a good one, okay?
You too, Reese. Keep up the good work.
I will try. Thank you. All right, stand by. We got our first check of weather and traffic. Mark Christopher is here. He is in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Hey, Mark.
Hey, Reese, thank you very much. Good afternoon to you, and good afternoon, everyone. If you're making your way toward Hartford right now and you're on the westbound side of 84, you're going to see delays now from 56 Governor Street, and that's going to be heavy right out to 46 Sisson Avenue. 84 eastbound's locked up, 44 Prospect Oakwood down to the Bulkley Bridge. Southbound 91 delays, Hartford 33 down to 32 A and B. If you're traveling 91 southbound in Meriden, delays approaching 19 down to 17 for the Wilbur Cross Parkway. Look out for an accident 91 northbound between 21 and 22 in Cromwell in the median there. So traffic slow there. 2 westbound slowing 1D up to the 84 West merge in East Hartford. 291 westbound slowing 2 up to the Bissell Bridge. If you are traveling northbound Route 9, look out for an accident up by exit 36 in the near the 72 interchange. Delays are back to exit 32 in Berlin behind that. If you're heading toward Waterbury, 84 eastbound tied up from 16 in Southbury up to the Mixmaster. And traveling on the northbound side of 91 in North Haven, look out for a car fire in the left lane between exit 11 and exit 12. Traffic and weather together on the 8 WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
It'll be nice out there for the rest of this afternoon with plenty of sunshine. We'll be heading up to a high of right around 84 degrees. Then the clear skies stick around through tonight. We'll head down to a low of 56. A beautiful start to the weekend as we head into tomorrow. Plenty of sunshine on tap with a high again of 84. Mainly clear tomorrow night, low 56. And as we head into Sunday, the nice weather continues with a mostly sunny sky. The high Sunday, 86. This is meteorologist Isaac Longley in the WTIC Weather Center.
Follow WTIC News Talk 1080. Don't miss out on important updates in Connecticut, from breaking need-to-know news, weather alerts, and more. Follow WTIC News Talk 1080 on the Odyssey app now. This is WTIC News Talk 1080 with Brian and Company in the morning, Reese on the radio in the afternoon, and news around the clock. WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford and Odyssey Station.
84 degrees in Hartford at 4 o'clock. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News. 51 people were displaced, but it turns out the multi-town response to a major apartment complex fire in Danbury yesterday likely saved a lot of lives and property. It broke out after 4 p.m. at the Ashwood Valley Apartments and was contained by 6:15. Only 6 people suffered minor injuries despite extensive damage and the eventual collapse of 3 floors. Part of the building was saved thanks to the response and the construction, according to Danbury Fire Captain Mark Miguel.
The building was sprinklered, and there are firewalls every so many units, so we were able to keep it contained to probably 1/3 of the structure.
One resident was trapped on a balcony and rescued using a ladder. The Red Cross is assisting those 51 people displaced. As President Trump's war with Iran expands, U.S. embassies are alerting Americans in the region that options to leave could become more limited. Iran is warning residents of neighboring countries to stay away from bases with U.S. troops. Trump tells Axios he's considering a massive attack on Iran beyond what's been done over the last few weeks of fighting.
He said he is close to making a decision, but it is all set, according to the administration. Now, this is something we have heard from the president before. He has threatened to go after Iran's civilian infrastructure. He has threatened to expand the strikes and the military operations, but it hasn't gone through.
ABC's Karen Travers.
2 senior administration officials tell ABC that he is considering a range of options, but one thing on the table is going back to military strikes that would look like the beginning of this conflict back in late February, early March. That's how big it could potentially be.
Iran is on the offensive. U.S.-led forces shot down 5 explosive drones over a city in northern Iraq that's home to American military advisors. There were explosions in the capital of Iraq's Kurdish region, where U.S. forces are also based. And Iran says it targeted the U.S. base in Udari, Kuwait, claiming successful strikes. There's no confirmation from Central Command. Democratic Congressman Jim Himes of Connecticut tells WTIC the U.S. is in a worse position than it has been in recent months.
As much as I didn't like the Memorandum of Understanding, because it was just a massive giveaway to the Iranians, it's better than where we are right now, where we continue now to be in a shooting war with its attendant risk of Americans being killed. And, of course, in this instance, unlike, say, in Ukraine or whatever, Americans are very much feeling the cost of this war.
After a week on the rise, oil prices down today. U.S. crude down 3%, Brent crude dropping 4%. AAA, though, says gas is at an average $4.10 per gallon nationally, up 12 cents from last week. It's $4.18 in Connecticut. There's been a prison fight involving a very famous inmates in New Jersey.
A source tells ABC News that Sean Diddy Combs has been in a fight at the Federal Correctional Institution at Fort Dix, where he's serving a 50-month sentence for transporting prostitutes. The other inmate involved in the altercation apparently made a remark to Diddy, which instigated the entire event. and Diddy was sent to solitary confinement, according to a source. It's unclear if that move will be temporary or whether he'll be kept there long term. Combs' release is supposed to be in 2028.
ABC's Sherri Preston. There's a big SUV recall.
Ford is recalling nearly 566,000 Broncos and Bronco Raptors from model years 2021 through 2026. The automaker estimates that around 1% of the vehicles have insufficient protection on the wiring harness in the engine compartment, which can expose wires and short circuit, increasing the risk of fire.
The AP's Marcela Sanchez reporting. On Wall Street, the Dow closing up 235. S&P was up 4 points. The NASDAQ was down 162. Sports. 41-year-old LeBron James signs with Philadelphia. ESPN reports it's a 2-year, $8 million deal. Red Sox and Blue Jays at Fenway, pregame 6:10 on WTIC. Yankees at Philadelphia, and the Mets hosting the Dodgers. Yard Goats in Richmond, and there's Banana Ball at Duncan Park. WNBA three-point competition tonight in Chicago. Former UConn great AZ Fudd, now of the Dallas Wings, will be taking part. For more, check out WTIC.com. I'm Dave Maker, WTIC 1080 News.
There are many reasons to hire Morgan & Morgan for your injury case. Here's reason 17. In today's new world, many law firms have had money injected into their firms by Wall Street, private equity, and other lenders. This money usually comes in at very, very high interest rates. It's one of the reasons you see so many lawyers advertising. I'm John Morgan. This money is expensive and the interest compounds quickly. These law firms can have a huge need for cash just to pay that debt. Why does it matter to you? My fear is your case is settled early and for far less than it's worth, just to service the loan that has mafia-like rates. Our financial strength is your advantage. That plus our reputation makes our firm your firm. Visit forthepeople.com to see our results and verdicts. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
Injured? Dial pound law.
Nicholas Russo, 157 Church Street, New Haven, 06510.
Reese is on the radio. Here we go now. He's on the radio. One time, he's on the radio. Give it to him now. He's on the radio. Yo, we never finish 'cause the party don't stop. The way we consider politics, we on top. We flip it like sandals, except we never flop. And when we drop, you know we gon' pop. Reese is on the radio. Here we go now. Reese is on the radio. One time, come on. Reese is on the radio. Give it to him now. Reese is on the radio.
All right, we are back. It's Reese on the Radio Live. Second half of the program coming up, sitting across from me, as you can see on your screen, running it in the 71st District in a primary coming up in August 11th, is Michael Grosso. Are we supposed to say Michael or Mike? Which one? Does it matter?
I prefer to be called Mike.
I know, but on the ballot, it is Michael. Okay, well, Michael Grosso is here. We call him Mike. In fact, Michael and his beautiful sister, Sherri, is going to be with us for the second installment of dinner with family dinner with Reese and Rozan, and we are going to be at D'Amelico's. D'Amelio's?
Yes,
D'Amelio's?
I don't know that.
It is D'Amelio's? He doesn't want to say.
No. It's D'Amelio's, but did you confirm
Did we
it?
set up? Okay, we did confirm that. Okay. Well, anyway, we'll tell you all about it when we come back. Stand by for that. I'm also having a dessert that Sherri and Mike brought in called 3 or 4 milks. How many?
Tres leches.
Tres leches. Oh, I think that's 3. 3 milks. It's some sort of cake. I didn't know there were 3 milks. I thought there was just 1, but apparently there are 3. How many milks are there? Are the milks like gender? Are there like 72 of them? I'm kidding. Let's get for another check of weather and traffic. Mark Christopher's back. He's in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center.
All right, Reese, thank you very much. Well, if you're heading 91 southbound into Hartford, look out for an accident down by exit 32A and B in Hartford. It's in the right lane. So right now, look for delays back to exit 34, Main Street, North Hartford. Behind that, a little slow again down by exit 28. You'll see more slow traffic as you move down between exit 22 and exit 21. Looks like we have a remains of a they're calling it a vehicle fire. 91 southbound in the left lane down by exit 21. So look for delays once again back approaching exit 22 behind that. Northbound side of 91, that moves pretty well. Cromwell up into Winter. If you're traveling westbound 84 in Hartford, delays 56 Governor Street out to 47 Sigourney, 84 eastbound slowing about a half mile before 46 Avenue down to the Bulkley Bridge. 291 westbound's tight from exit 2 up to the Bissell Bridge. Look out for an accident 9 northbound between exit 35 and 36 in New Britain, left lane out there. Also delays 9 northbound into Middletown as you move from Harbor Park up to the Aragoni Bridge. 84 eastbound in Southbury slowing just after 16 up to the Mixmaster in Waterbury. If you're traveling southbound on the Parkway, delays from 51 in Hamden into the West Rock Tunnel. And the northbound side of 91, or I should say the Parkway, you've got delays from Route 34 in Orange all the way up to the West Rock Tunnel in New Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8 WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
It'll be nice out there for the rest of this afternoon with plenty of sunshine. We'll be heading up to a high of right around 84 degrees. Clear skies out there for tonight. A little on the cool side. We'll be heading down to a low of 56. And the weekend is looking fantastic at this point. Plenty of sunshine once again tomorrow with a high up to 84 once again. Mainly clear tomorrow night, low 56. And the nice weather will continue right into Sunday. A mostly sunny sky. A little bit warmer out there for Sunday with a high of 86 degrees. And then the humidity returns for Monday. We're going to see sunshine mixing with a few clouds at times. High Monday, 85. And we do have a cold front moving in on Tuesday. We're going to see plenty of clouds around. A little bit more on the humid side with a thunderstorm in a couple spots. The high Tuesday, 81. Right now it's 82 in Avon, 81 degrees in Hebron, and 81 in Hartford. This is meteorologist Isaac Longley in the WTIC Weather Center.
Hi, this is Eric Hogarth with Money Wisdom. This weekend we'll talk about retirement. Namely, how much does it cost to have a great or a mediocre one? We're also going to talk about that same question relative to 1996. Tune in this weekend to TIC News Talk 1080.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter. Veterans and active duty service members. When your call to service ends, your mission doesn't have to. Go from GI to IT in just a few months at My Computer Career. Prepare for a high-demand career in cybersecurity, protecting people, systems, and institutions from real cyber threats. Cyber warriors are needed now. Will you answer the call? Go to mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to learn more. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. An elite CompTIA certification partner. VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. But at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited everything for just $35 a line. That's $35 a month for unlimited talk, text, and data. Switch to the carrier ranked #1 in network coverage and customer satisfaction and get unlimited everything for just $35 a month. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit Consumer Cellular online or in-store today. Price includes $5 credit for autopay and e-billing. Taxes and fees apply. Data speeds reduced after 35 gigabytes. Rankings done by 2025 ACSI survey.
It's Reese on the radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
All right, back and live. Michael Grosso is here, candidate for the 71st District. You are in a primary, but I think for me, one of the most compelling or interesting reasons why you are here is why you chose to get into politics at all. What was that about? And because is this your first time? I think this is your.
So I'm actually a sitting alderman in Waterbury
right
now.
But this is like, not that an alderman is pennies, so like penance, but why this particular role?
So they pretty much tie together.
Okay.
So instead of sitting around and complaining about what's going on, I said I would rather step up and try to make a change.
Right.
And so that's why I ran for alderman in Waterbury. I saw the way things were going there, and I thought maybe I could help.
Mhm.
You know.
You thought the role was, in essence, your role in order to change things had to be bigger.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Exactly. I didn't want to be that person that every time I went out and talked to somebody, I just complained about how high the taxes were.
Right.
You know, how bad things were. I said, if I'm going to complain about it, why not try and step up and do something?
So you just chose this on your own. I know you have a family. You had to pretty much kind of go over with them. I almost feel like that story is on repeat. What was your family like when you said you wanted to run?
When I first told her, she thought I was crazy.
Yeah.
And you know, after I explained it to her, and she knows where my heart is.
Yeah.
She knows what I'm trying to do. So she was very supportive. But at first, it was shock. Like when
Really?
when I told her I was going to run for state rep, she obviously already being an alderman.
Yeah.
You know, she understood that. But then when I say, "Oh yeah, I'm thinking about running for state rep," she was like, "What?"
Yeah. So yeah, because that's sort of a different role, and that probably takes a lot more of your time. It's probably more rigorous.
Yeah.
As
and we just came through a campaign because I won the election for alderman in November.
Ah.
So, you know, after months of campaigning, it was like, all right, we finally got our life back to normal. Now I'm like, hey, babe, guess what? I'm getting back in it again.
Was there a reluctance, or did she just?
I don't think it was reluctance. I think at first she was just a little shocked.
Right.
But no, she was totally on board because she knows where my heart is.
Mhm.
And no, she's very supportive.
Yeah.
Very
Is she
supportive. Thank God.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I've always heard this story. I've yet to hear a story where a wife, a spouse, or a significant other has said, it's like, I don't want to have to go through this. Usually the family is jumping on board. And that is an interesting place for us to be. Do you find, because I know that I met your daughter at the, what was that? What's that?
You actually met my wife as well.
I met your wife as well, yes.
Yeah.
At the Italian festival.
Our Lady of Mount Carmel Feast in Waterbury.
Yes, in Waterbury. And they seem to be just like normal. They're wearing your campaign shirts.
They're
very normal.
They're very on board. They're
Really?
very on board. It was just like when I first told her, she was like, oh my God, we're going to go through this again.
Yeah, but is the enthusiasm there is because they understand politics? Do they get an education, especially the kids? Are they getting an education in all of this as it's going on?
Through me.
Yeah, through you,
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely. Because I
kind of live and breathe it?
Yes. I talk about the issues all the time.
Mhm.
You know, we all live them. Everybody, you know, in the country, but especially in the state, everybody's living, you know, paycheck to paycheck. Well, not everybody, but
Enough.
the vast majority of us are living paycheck to paycheck. We see how outrageous our taxes are. We see the bills that just passed and how the government overreach is just getting worse and worse. And I want to put an end to that, you know? And
does Waterbury feel ignored? I almost feel like that way about Bristol, Waterbury, New Britain. I almost feel like they're ignored in the grand scheme of things in the states. In the state itself, do people in Waterbury feel that way, that they kind of find an outsider of what's going on in Hartford?
In Waterbury, people feel ignored by the local government.
Right. Oh, really? Just right in in Waterbury.
Right in Waterbury.
Really?
Yes.
That's incredible because it seems so small towny that it's almost impossible to get away from the local fare, like the politics of that town. Like it's difficult to hide. I guess that's the best way to put it, or to be removed.
Well, yes and no. I mean,
Okay.
So it's small enough that it's easy to know,
Everybody.
You go to city. Well, I wouldn't even say everybody. I mean, you're talking about a city of 130,000 people. So it's,
okay, that's significant.
I believe
amount.
it's the fifth largest city in Connecticut.
Right.
To be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't say everybody knows everybody, but it is more of a small town feel than if you were in Hartford,
Right.
obviously.
Right.
But a lot of people do feel ignored because a lot of people, they just want a fair shake at living a decent life.
Yeah.
And the taxes in Waterbury, I mean, besides the state taxes that we deal with, our mill rate is crazy. We just we're in the final year of a 4-year property tax revaluation.
Mm-hmm.
which is squeezing every extra penny that everybody has out of them.
Yeah.
You know, and even if you don't own a house, you know, if you know the
landlord,
person,
right.
the landlord, the
Right.
person who owns the house, when that property tax is going up 4 years in a row,
Yeah.
what are they going to do?
The
They're gonna
rents
pass
go
it
up.
on. Yeah, exactly.
But your town, see, I went to, again, what was it, Mount Carmel?
Yes.
Yes, the Mount Carmel feast. Being there, what I noticed was very similar to what I saw in New Britain at the Polish festival, is that it is all working class folks. In this case, with Waterbury, is all like working class Italian folks. There was a mixture of all types of people there. But this is a small little Italian community that's all working class. Nobody is living, beyond their paycheck, if you will. It seemed very community oriented.
It is.
It is almost impossible to think that there is a local politic in that area that doesn't respect the working class in there and is sort of throwing their mill rates and their taxes through the roof without considering the fact how much that's going to drive people out of a town like Waterbury.
Well, they do.
They do. There they are.
I don't know how else to put it, but they are literally driving people out of Waterbury or out onto the streets. Is it
really? Does Waterbury have a sort of a kind of a foreclosure issue or a homeless issue?
There's not a foreclosure issue because what happened when we had COVID, a lot of New York people came up and bought in Waterbury. So you have a lot of absent landlords, if you will.
Gotcha.
These are people with a lot of money that came up, they bought in Waterbury, and you don't see them.
Yeah. Is there a lot of slumlord kind of stuff?
Yeah. I was trying to stay away from that word, but yes,
Yeah,
that's exactly what
okay,
it is.
yeah, I
It
saw
is.
you. You don't have to co-sign it. I'll be the guy.
Yeah.
So that has kind of created some neighborhood blight in a lot of ways.
Oh my God.
And it's
lot.
really, oh man, it's good. See that? I mean, when I drove through Waterbury when I went to this festival, I saw it like a lot of communities that I grew up in. Not that they were bad. I felt just as normal and just as safe as I did anywhere else. It's nice that they still have these community events, and people seem to be very gung-ho about going to them. They support the community. However, you really do get the sense that there is some blight there, that it is sort of on a downward trend. And there has to be an effort to sort of bring that back up, that people are concerned that there is no sort of reversal of this sort of downward spiral. What's of all of your policies, which are the ones that are most important to you that you are running on for the people of Waterbury in your community? If you had to guess one, I guess it would be taxes or affordability, I presume?
Yes.
Okay.
It would be taxes, and it's transparency.
Right.
So take your Eversource bill, for example.
Mhm.
All right. Have you ever looked at your Eversource bill? You need a doctorate degree to try and understand what those taxes, what all those charges are. Like, it should just be, this is how much electricity used. This is what it costs to deliver it. And that should be it. But there's another 30 lines with,
I know.
the public benefits, and then things you don't even know what they are. Like, when you look at it, all you see is dollar signs, dollar signs, dollar signs, dollar signs, and you look at the bottom, and the bill is out. It's like a mortgage in itself.
Yeah.
And
businesses in Waterbury suffer even further in that public benefits charge. That's the other part that people fail to mention, because it's hard for those people to stay afloat in those small towns.
yeah, and when I tell you, with the mill rate and with these property taxes, it's making it impossible for people to, like, I bought my house in 2014.
Okay.
All right. So I got in at a good time.
Okay.
People right now that are renting are paying more to rent than I pay for my house. Now, granted, I don't have, I have it's like a almost 1,500 square foot house. It's not anything big.
Yeah.
But your person renting a 1-2 bedroom apartment is paying more for their rent than I pay for my mortgage.
Yeah. Oh, no, I know, because we rent ourselves. We own a home in San Antonio. And, yeah, I mean, it has to be that way, but you're absolutely right. The crazy part about that, what you just said, is if you're really looking at it from any scale, is that the renter is never going to own. You are paying a mortgage to eventually outright own your home. So the balance seems off. And if the difference, if you will, is you're paying a mortgage of $1,100 a month versus a guy who's paying upwards of $2,100 a month for rent, that disparity is a lot, because it's weird, because we live now, I'm not gonna lie, Rozan and I were talking about this not too long ago, where we can look at a rent that says $2,400 a month, we can go, manageable. But the average person who lives in Connecticut, in Hartford even, sees that and just goes, that's astronomical for that. I know that there's a huge disparity, like $2,400. The person is not even interested. Once you see the ticket price of that rent, the conversation is over for a lot of people. Roseanne's looking at a place near Windsor. What was the cost on that? $3,500 in Windsor. Now, I'm not going to lie. I am no miser, but I am not spending $3,500 on rent.
No.
Not for a 2-bedroom.
That's
she says, yes, I am. No, I'm not. That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. That is a lot of money.
That is just, what's the average rent? What do you think the average rent is in Waterbury right now?
I mean, if I had to guess, it's probably $1,600 to $1,700.
Yeah, you think?
It could be.
Sherry's saying higher.
Well, no. That's. I mean, they go higher.
Yeah,
they definitely go higher.
What would that get you in Waterbury? What are you talking about? Like cost? I mean, like
a 1-bedroom.
1 bedroom. Okay, $1,600 is a lot for 1 bedroom.
Yeah, if you wanted a 2-bedroom, you're probably looking at $2,000 or up.
Yeah, well, that's because we're in a luxury apartment. That's different.
Yeah, we're not talking places with amenities here. We're just talking, a 100-year-old 3-family house that somebody's living in, one of the floors.
Just one floor.
We're not talking a newly built condo
that's
got a gym in it and a swimming pool, and where you can say, all right, I'm paying $2,500, but
because I get all of this.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's true. Because our apartment, we're getting we get a pool, a gym, and we get parking, and so it's like that. All of that goes with it. So
you're not getting that in Waterbury.
Yeah, you're not going to get that in Waterbury, because in essence, you're just paying for the spot to live in. Whatever that hole is. You are. Your primary is on the 11th, and you are going up against
Bill Pizzuto.
In the primary.
Correct.
Was he not running before and then joined this effort? I think, how did this whole thing pan out?
No, so he's a 2-term incumbent.
Okay, that's not your primary. Oh, that's your primary opponent.
I'm primarying him.
Oh, you're primarying him. Okay, I don't know why I got confused with that. Okay, so you're primarying him.
Yes.
And this was a convention sort of deal, or was this just 2 people?
No, it's a convention, but the way the 71st district breaks down,
okay,
it's parts of Waterbury, the part that you were in,
yes,
when you came to that feast. There's a town plot section of Waterbury, country club section of Waterbury, and then all of Middlebury.
Okay, and so this was a convention. You got a percentage of that vote that made you eligible for the primary.
Correct. So the way it works out, there's 8 delegates. 5 were from Middlebury, because it's all of Middlebury.
Okay.
And then it's just a section of Waterbury. There was 3 delegates in Waterbury, 5 delegates in Middlebury.
Mm-hmm.
I got the 3 in Waterbury. He got the 5 in Middlebury. So I had more than enough to qualify.
Gotcha. And when we come back, I want to talk some about the campaign, because I know you're door knocking, right?
Yes.
I want to talk a little bit about that, because I'm interested in everyone doing that process. I never had to door knock when I worked for campaigns, because I refused, but I really want to know what that's like. So stand by. We're more with Michael Grosso in the 71st District. We'll talk to him, and we'll also talk about it's D'Amelio's, right? D'Amelio's. We'll talk about that as well when we return. Mark Christopher's back. He is at the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Hey, Mark.
Hey, thank you very much, Reese. Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon, everyone. If you're heading 91 southbound in Hartford, delays 33 down to 32A and B. If you are traveling further down south of downtown, got some slow traffic again as you move down by exit 28. And then you're slowing again 23 West Street and Rocky Hill down to between exit 22 and exit 21. We have the remains of a vehicle fire there that was sitting in the left and center lane. So you want to stay to the right there to get around that a little bit easier. If you're traveling on the northbound side of 91, just a little slowdown as you move by exit 24 in Rocky Hill. Westbound 84 tied up 56 Governor Street in East Hartford out to 47 Sigourney. 84 eastbound's running slow approaching 46 Sisson Avenue to the Bulkley. Again, tight 58 out to 59 in the 384 interchange. 291 westbound is slowing from exit 2 up to the Bissell Bridge. 2 westbound slowing 1D up to the 84 West merge. If you are heading toward Middletown, look for delays 9 northbound Harbor Park to the Aragoni Bridge. 84 eastbound in Middlebury slowing approaching 17 up to the Mixmaster in Waterbury. Southbound Parkway delays from 51 in Hamden into the West Rock Tunnel, and northbound on the Parkway, you're seeing delays now as you move up from 42A in Orange up to the West Rock Tunnel. I'm Mark Christopher. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
It'll be nice out there for the rest of this afternoon with plenty of sunshine. We'll be heading up to a high of right around 84 degrees. Then the clear skies stick around through tonight. We'll head down to a low of 56. A beautiful start to the weekend as we head into tomorrow. Plenty of sunshine on tap with a high again of 84. Mainly clear tomorrow night, low 56. And as we head into Sunday, the nice weather continues with a mostly sunny sky. The high Sunday, 86. This is meteorologist Isaac Longley in the WTIC Weather Center.
There's a lot happening in Washington and in your local neighborhood. Follow WTIC News Talk 1080 on the Odyssey app to keep up with the latest. And now, a WTIC News Update.
84 degrees at 4:30. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News. Police say a Derby man was involved when a smoke bomb was thrown through the window of a motorcycle shop in Griswold, and that attack was related to last week's biker brawl and shooting at the Cadillac Ranch in Southington. Follow along. Kevin Lawler faces charges including conspiracy to commit arson. It was last Friday when the smoke bomb was thrown at Bully Baggers & Son, the Griswold bike shop. The shop's owner was assaulted at the Cadillac Ranch on July 15th, and the attack on his shop was allegedly related to the Cadillac Ranch incident where Lawler was charged with interfering with police. The NBA's all-time leading scorer is making a move to Philadelphia. 41-year-old LeBron James will join former Celtics great Jaylen Brown on a team many think can win an NBA championship.
He was pretty sure he played his last game after the season ended, saying that he needed time to decide whether he still loved the game. Well, the answer is, quote, I still truly love this game, and I have so much more to give.
ABC's Morgan Norwood. It's a modest 2-year, $8 million deal with the Sixers, according to ESPN's Shams Charania. A Danbury woman in court this morning charged in the death of her newborn son, whose remains were found at a Stanford recycling plant in 2018. Dominique Harrison faces a count of murder with special circumstances. Police say they used DNA evidence developed over a number of years to track down the mother and father. Court documents say Harrison repeatedly changed her story, but eventually admitted to giving birth after hiding the pregnancy from her family and the father. The case has been continued until mid-September, Harrison being held on $2.5 million bond. U.S. allies are slamming the new tariffs from President Trump. Australia calls them unjustified. Japan calls them regrettable. The sales taxes of 10% or more apply to about 60 countries. University of Michigan economics professor Justin Wolfers says the cost falls on the American taxpayer.
The president told us that if he imposed tariffs on other countries would pay them. That's very compelling political rhetoric. It's also totally false. Here's the most important thing for people to understand. When the United States imposes a tariff on Canada, that is a tax on Americans who import goods from Canada. So when your maple syrup arrives at the port, it gets stuck in customs until you go there and you pony up the tax.
Wasting no time, a federal lawsuit has already been filed against the new tariffs by the Liberty Justice Center, a libertarian advocacy group. On Wall Street, the Dow closed up 236, S&P was up 4 points, the NASDAQ was down 161. Sports, Red Sox and Blue Jays at Fenway, pregame 6:10 on WTIC. Yankees in Philly, the Mets host the Dodgers, Yard Goats in Richmond, and once again there's Banana Ball at Duncan Park. For more, check out WTIC.com. I'm Dave Maker, WTIC 1080 News.
There are many reasons to hire Morgan & Morgan for your injury case. Here's reason 17. In today's new world, many law firms have had money injected into their firms by Wall Street, private equity, and other lenders. This money usually comes in at very, very high interest rates. It's one of the reasons you see so many lawyers advertising. I'm John Morgan. This money is expensive and the interest compounds quickly. These law firms can have a huge need for cash just to pay that debt. Why does it matter to you? My fear is your case is settled early and for far less than it's worth, just to service the loan that has mafia-like rates. Our financial strength is your advantage. That plus our reputation makes our firm your firm. Visit forthepeople.com to see our results and verdicts. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
Injured? Dial pound law.
Nicholas Russo, 157 Church Street, New Haven, 06510.
Let me tell you something about insurance. When you sign your insurance policy, for some brokers, that's the finish line. Handshake, commission, done. Then you may not hear from them again until it's time for renewal. But your business runs all year, so do the gaps and the risk. So go to supersure.com. If your company has more than 25 employees, whether you're the owner, CFO, or HR manager, it can be too complex to just go buy a policy online. Supersure is the super agency built for you, licensed in every state for your business insurance and employee benefits, all with year-round support for you and your team. At supersure.com, you can access tools like fine print facts. It'll translate your current policy into plain English so you see what's covered and what's not. Plus a business value calculator so you can estimate what your business is worth so you know what actually needs protecting. Go to supersure.com. One super agency, one powerful platform, all your policies in one place. Supersure.com. That's supersure.com. Paid for by Supersure Insurance Agency, LLC, a licensed insurance agency.
Stay locked in. Reese on the radio is on WTIC. News Talk 1080.
All right, more with Michael Grosso in a moment. He is here in the studio. We're talking about his campaign at the 71st District, what's happening in the Waterbury area, why he's running, and what he's trying to change in that area. So stand by for that. Rozan is going to be back also in a little bit. And we've got Sherri from Hartford, who's supposed to be in at 5 o'clock. She was the very energetic woman who called in talking about Luke Bronin and his campaign to be a representative in the 1st District against John Larson. So she was so energetic and so funny, we had to bring her into the studio. So hopefully she'll be here. I think Adam is going to check with her and make sure that she's going to be here on time. We're continuing our conversation also about the DMV. Make sure you go back to the beginning of the program. You can do that at WTIC.com or at ReeseOnRadio.com. You can listen to my conversation with Senate Minority Leader Stephen Harding, as well as my opening monologue as it relates to the DMV and the story with Denise Merrill, the former Secretary of State, and how she was involved in the process of which people get their drive-only licenses. I guess I could do this. Can I do this? Yeah, sure. In an extreme case of gaslighting, our stupidest thing I read today comes from Local 10 News in California. It is titled, What Baby? Actually, no, this is, Hollywood, Florida. A 21-year-old Florida man and his 20-year-old girlfriend had a baby girl. Family members saw the infant in her first month. Photos and videos exist of the baby. Then the baby vanished. When relatives came by to ask the woman about the baby, the woman looks them dead in the face and says, "What baby? There's no baby." Yes. Detectives found baby clothes, positive pregnancy tests, notebooks about a gender reveal, and then they found the unthinkable. You can figure it out after that. Yes. Stupidest thing I read today. Let's get another check of traffic and weather. Mark Christopher's back, I think. Well, about to be back. Yeah, there he is. He's in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Gaslighting gone crazy. Hey, Mark.
Hey, Reese, thank you very much. Good afternoon to you, and good afternoon, everyone. Well, we are dealing with a crash 91 southbound by exit 32A and B. The right shoulder is blocked there. So right now, look for delays that are kicking back toward exit 33. Behind that, once you get around that, you're going to slow again as you move from 23 West Street and Rocky Hill. We have the remains of a vehicle fire 91 southbound between exit 21 and 20. They say the left lane shut down there, so you want to stay to the right there. If you are traveling on the northbound side of 91, that's just a little slow getting by exit 20 Country Club Road. Then a good little slowdown to get 24 up to 25, 26 in Wethersfield. If you're traveling westbound, 84 delays approaching the Bulkley Bridge in East Hartford up to 45 Flatbush, 84 eastbound slowing approaching 46th Avenue to the Bulkley, 291 westbound slowing exit 2 up to the Bissell Bridge, 2 westbounds tied up 1D up to the 84 West merge. Both sides of 9 heavy approaching the Aragoni Bridge in Middletown. 84 eastbound is slowing just after 16 in Southbury up to the Mixmaster in Waterbury. Westbound 84 look for delays from 25A in Waterbury up to the Mixmaster. And if you're traveling northbound on the Parkway, look for delays now from exit 42B in Orange up to the West Rock Tunnel on the northbound side of the Parkway. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Well, we'll stay mainly sunny for the rest of this afternoon. It is going to be nice out there with low humidity. We'll be heading up to a high of 84 degrees, then clear out there for tonight. A little on the cool side, low down to 56. Plenty of sunshine as we work our way into tomorrow. Just a great start to the weekend. With a high tomorrow up to 84 once again. Mainly clear tomorrow night, low 56. And the nice weather continues right through the rest of the weekend. Sunday, just a beautiful day, mostly sunny sky. A little bit warmer on Sunday with a high of 86. Then we turn out more humid as we get into Monday. Sunshine mixing with clouds at times throughout the day. The high Monday, 85. Then we do have a cold front moving in on Tuesday. That's going to bring more in the way of clouds. A little bit more humid out there with a thunderstorm in 1 or 2 spots. The high Tuesday, 81. Right now it's 82 in Granby, 83 degrees in Plainville, and we're at 81 in Hartford. This is meteorologist Isaac Longley in the WTIC Weather Center.
O'Reilly Auto Parts can help take the guesswork out of your vehicle's check engine, ABS, or maintenance light with O'Reilly Veriscan. This service is free and provides a report with solutions verified by ASE certified master technicians. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
Hi, I'm Tom Tierney, owner of the Green Cremation, Connecticut's only water cremation facility. Our process uses a gentle, water-based alternative to flame, with no smoke, no fire, and no harmful emissions. It uses up to 90% less energy than traditional cremation and produces zero air pollution. We're proud to offer families a compassionate, earth-friendly way to honor a loved one. Visit thegreencremation.com to learn more or pre-plan today. Visit thegreencremation.com.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now, there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team. Build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. And you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
It's Reese on the radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
All right, as promised, Michael Grosso is here, or as we affectionately call him, Mike. So you're doing the sort of the walking tour of your neighborhood, going and knocking on doors. Just because I want to know, did you started, of course, in your neighborhood and then had to expand? What is that like when you got to knock on doors of people that you don't know and say, hey, I'm Michael Grosso, I'm running to be your state rep? What's that like? I got to know.
It's probably one of the most unnatural things you could ever do.
Yeah.
It's so I got used to it because I did it. So I ran for
Alderman, right?
I ran for alderman once before the 2
Oh,
years
really?
prior.
Okay.
I lost by 60 votes, then I ran again. So I actually kind of got used to door knocking because I door knocked
Then.
for both of those elections.
Yeah.
It's still not something that you ever really get used to, but once you get a couple of people that engage with you,
is that confidence building?
It's confidence building, and you realize, wow, that this really does work. You know,
Okay.
Because look, the majority of people aren't going to answer their door. You come to their door, they think you're trying to sell them solar.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Solar. It's funny how solar's been replaced by the Jehovah Witness now.
Yeah.
So it's like the Jehovah Witness is sooner welcomed at the door than the solar guy.
I can't remember the last time I had a Jehovah Witness come to my door, but probably once every 6 months I have somebody trying to sell me solar.
Wow. So
literally.
So when you're knocking on the door, it's got to be, your intro's got to be killer. I mean, just killer for lack of a better term.
I mean, I wear a shirt.
Okay.
You know, I don't just go there.
Gotcha.
I have my shirt on, and I explain immediately why I'm there. And
how do people react when you're there as a door knocker to talk about the election? Because politics can be so separating or divisive.
Yes.
How is that?
Some people are like, "Thank you, but I don't vote. I want nothing to do with this." Other people are like, "Thank you so much. Nobody's come knocking on my door before."
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And sometimes you end up in conversations for 15, 20 minutes with people.
Right.
Which
is good and bad.
It's good and bad.
Right.
It's good because you probably got that vote.
Yeah.
But if you spend 20 minutes at every door, you're not going to knock many doors. You would need You need 5 years to cover a district.
Yeah.
I'm only running state rep. If you're running for Congress or state Senate, where you got a lot more.
Yeah.
Man,
how do you end the conversation while you're trying to get that vote? It's like, hey, thank you very well. Gotta go now.
I mean, you don't say that, but
yeah. Oh no, I don't. That's the reason why I don't do it, because I gotta end that conversation. It's like, thank you for your vote. I got to get the next guy now, and I don't want to treat anybody like, I'm dismissing them. So that's the part. There's so many elements to the door knocking thing that I know my ego can't take, right? Just me. I'm just not that I have a soft ego, but you can do the rejection but so much, if that means anything. Because I tried that in sales. I remember the first time I ever had to do like door-to-door sales. And you can get a full day of people saying, "Get the hell away from my door!" And you'll go home and feel like you're the worst person in the world. Politics, I can only imagine, is tougher. But having done it so many times, you're more used to it, or you develop a thicker skin?
I know what to expect, but like when you were talking about being a door-to-door salesman, all you need is one person for a good sale, and your day's worth it. Right?
Yeah, good point.
So, yes, you're gonna get a lot more people that are gonna either shut the door or not answer their door at all. I would say probably 7 out of 10 people probably don't even answer their door.
Really?
But of the ones that do, the majority of them do talk to you. That they really do, and they unleash, not in a bad way.
No, I get what you're saying. They sort of tell whatever's bothering them.
And the majority of what I hear is about, believe it or not, is taxes and their Eversource bill.
Really?
That's by far the majority of what I hear from people.
Wow.
Like, I'll vote for you. Can you do anything about taxes? Can you lower my electric bill? I'm like, well, I mean, I'm certainly going to work on that.
Yeah, you can't make any promises.
If I had that power, believe me, but I'm definitely gonna work on that.
One of the bigger problems that are in the Waterbury area is the fact that there are not just elderly folks that are struggling there because of their fixed income, but there are businesses that are struggling, and there is no business, sort of incoming business, into the Waterbury area. It sort of gives the impression that it's not a business-friendly area. Is it just the taxes that do that, or is it the blight or the representation? Is there not really an effort that's being made to bring businesses there?
I mean, I don't believe there's an effort really being made, but The taxes are definitely a very big part of it. Look, Waterbury should be bustling.
Yeah.
All right. When you think about Waterbury, you're a half hour from Hartford. You're a half hour from Bridgeport. You're a half hour from New Haven. You're a half hour from Danbury. You're literally the center of the universe of every major city with the exception of Stanford
Right.
in the state. We're the center. We should be having to turn people away saying, we can't take any more business. And instead, there's nothing. And that needs to be addressed.
What do you think that is, though? I mean, do you think that some people have given up on the city? Because TJ Duarte, we talked about behind the scenes, he said that when I first met him, he said one of the biggest problems. Same thing with DM Livingston from the Waterbury Times. He as well. He's like, there is this stigma that is almost allowed about Waterbury that no one is defending. Both of these young men are fighting for the reputation of Waterbury, because they feel like the people who are their elected officials just don't have that in them anymore. There's no heart in the city anymore.
There really isn't. There really isn't. You hear people call it the dirty water all the time.
Yeah.
And I hate that. Because Waterbury, look, you came to the feast. You saw the potential Waterbury has.
Absolutely.
But you have to foster that relationship, and you have to really bring the community together. You have to bring the people out. You have to make people want to be proud of your city.
Yeah.
All right. And right now you don't have that. There's not enough time for people to come speak at Alderman meetings. So we have our Alderman meetings, that they're given 15 minutes to speak.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people, so as an Alderman, I get a lot of phone calls. I just made a phone call today for a constituent. A lot of people tell me, hey, I call the city about this, that, and I get no response. I'm like, all right, I'll take care of it for you. I had a woman today. She has trees growing from one of the middle schools that's been growing over her property, and it's dropping all kinds of stuff on her property. She had talked to somebody from the city. They came there, and then she heard nothing. So I made a phone call for her today, and now things are gonna happen. Because one thing about me is I don't keep my mouth shut. When I call you and I tell you about a problem that one of my constituents is having, if it doesn't get taken care of, I'm going to put you on blast.
Right.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah, it's got to be done.
Yeah,
I know the drill. It's got to be done. You're right. It has to be done because, again, if there's an atmosphere where people feel like nothing is going to be said or no one's going to step up and do something about it, it will just lax. It'll continue to be the same way.
Waterbury has a lot of potential. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah.
Waterbury I've lived there my whole life.
Right.
It has a lot of potential. When I was growing up there in the 80s, not to date myself.
Yeah. 80s was a good decade. Come on, don't worry about that. 80s was a great
decade.
Yeah.
I love the 80s.
But when you were growing up there?
When I was growing up there, Waterbury was happening. It was happening. I mean, all the neighborhoods were happening. Every section of Waterbury. I live in the Town Plot section where you were at.
Yeah.
It's still a relatively close community because a lot of the people have lived there for 30, 40 years.
Right.
Some maybe even longer.
Mm-hmm.
But you go to a lot of the other neighborhoods and it's very transient. There's people that aren't from Waterbury. There's people that, just moved in. So there isn't a lot of that community feeling.
Right,
and they're not given reason to have that community feeling. We have to bring that back.
Yeah.
We have to bring that back across the state.
Absolutely
honestly,
right.
We really do.
I remember this very early on as a kid living in Hollis, Queens, which, by the way, Waterbury reminds me a lot of, especially that neighborhood where we was. Just middle income homes, not a lot of apartment buildings, just maybe a couple of 2-3 family homes and stuff like that. Very, very middle of the road. But the thing that I recognized about that was turnover rate when I was a kid. I remember the first time I had heard the statistic that neighborhoods like mine in Hollis, Queens, and as you're talking about transient neighborhoods in Waterbury, is that you had this turnover of 3 to 4 years. Your neighbor was a new person. No one was staying there. Some people, and I was one of them growing up, didn't understand the importance of that sort of longevity in the community. that someone told me that moving out, like somebody told me, oh, I've been living here for 20 years. As a kid, we looked at that guy like a weirdo. You've been in some place for 20 years. My mom has moved us out of a place every 2-3 years. Like my mom moved me out when I was growing up, I lived in five different apartments in my immediate area of Hollis, Queens, within a 6 blocks radius. 6-block radius. I lived in at least 4 to 5 different places. And we're talking about all of junior high. That's how many places we moved. Yeah, we got evicted a lot. But it was just, we got evicted a lot. The single parent on welfare is like, wait. But that's, in essence, I knew that. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, right. I looked at that community I remember helping other friends. Yeah, it was normal. So you're right that once that became normal, we didn't have the people who were sticking around for 20, 30 years. It is true. I love that neighborhood primarily for that because as soon as I walked through, every person I looked at, I immediately started reminiscing, like sort of vicariously through them. I wonder how many changes in this community they witnessed. You know what I mean? Because they've been there so long. How many changes you've witnessed in your community?
Yeah.
I think how long has your mom lived in Waterbury now?
Well, I'm 57, so it's got to be 60, 65.
About 65 years?
Yeah.
Wow. And it always lived in the same home?
So the house I grew up in, my mother was there up until, 4 years ago, 5 years ago?
Okay.
My father passed away 5 years ago.
Okay.
It was a 3-family house that we owned. We lived on the first floor, and we rented out the second and third floor.
Wow.
And when my father passed away 5 years ago, it was just too hard for my mother to, have to deal with all the things that go on with owning a 3-family house. So she sold it, and she moved into to an apartment complex that, they take care of everything. She doesn't have to worry about grass or any of that stuff, But up until that point, yeah, she lived in the same house.
So I mean, so your mother would be a perfect example, sort of like a time capsule, if you will, watching those changes in Waterbury and seeing how either the community changed or the people who live in it have changed. The kids grow up and they move on, but usually the parents stay because they've been there for so long. There are more people in Connecticut who believe that they shouldn't have that anymore, that Connecticut should become a more transient community. As a member and a person who's lived in Waterbury all their life, is that something that you think is a progress that should happen in Waterbury, or that we should at least try to keep Waterbury as...
No, you should. I'm definitely not for that.
Oh, really? Okay. Oh, no, I hear you. I hear
transient?
You. Yeah. Because I kind of feel like the quality of a place diminishes as more, because they have no real roots laid into the community, and they can allow it to change to any ridiculous place they wanted to. You know what I mean?
I think community is probably the most cherished thing that you could have where you live.
Yeah.
To be able to know the people that live near you, to be able to trust them, to, be able to count on them in times of need, because look, at some point we all need help.
Yeah.
For one reason or another, you might break a leg. Hey, you know what? You got a neighbor who's comes over and brings you something to eat.
Yeah.
That's the way we grew up. That's how it should be.
Yeah.
And now you don't see that. And and it goes beyond just people moving in and out. When I was growing up as a kid, I would go to the end of my street. I would play wiffle ball, all kinds of sports with my friends. My mother would have to drag us into the house. Now, with social media, you can't get kids out of the house.
Yeah.
And so you don't have the kids fostering that community.
It's a good point.
But by the time they become 18, they're socially awkward because they spend all their time in their room on social media.
Yeah.
And they become keyboard warriors. But that face-to-face, people... These young kids can't even look somebody in the eye.
I know. I said it the other day. I tried to say it to a 10-year-old.
They look like this. Like they're afraid to look you in the eye.
I know.
So
it's
bad.
Yeah, it is bad. Well, look.
Hold on. But before we go.
Yeah, real quick.
Before you go any further, I just want to say thank you to you, Adam, and Gino for going down for the 250th anniversary.
Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate you.
You guys did us proud when, our governor put politics above patriotism, state and country. So thank you guys for doing that.
It was my pleasure. Good luck to you. I know we're going to be seeing you this Sunday coming up. I can't wait to have dinner with you. We're going to D'Amelio's on Sunday, right? I think it's on Sunday. August 2nd. Okay, it's August 2nd. Okay, well, I guess it's on August 2nd. All right.
Boss.
That's all right. Well, we'll find out. Yeah, ask the boss. All right, we're going to get another check of weather and traffic. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate you.
Thank you for having me, Reese.
Make sure you vote for him in the 71st District. Mark Christopher's back. He is in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Hey, Mark.
All right, Reese, thank you very much. Well, if you're 91 southbound, look for delays in Hartford approaching 33 down to 32 A and B. And then you'll slow a little bit again as you move down from exit 19 and Meriden down to 17 for the Wilbercross Parkway. Northbound 91 bunching up by exit 20 Country Club Road in Middletown. Again, some slow traffic 24 up to 25-26 for the Putnam Bridge in Wethersfield. Westbound 84 tied up 56 Governor Street out to 45 Flatbush. 84 eastbound slowing about a mile before 46 Cicin Avenue into the tunnel. 2 westbound slowing 1D up to the 84 West merge in East Hartford. 291 westbound delays exit 2 up to the Bissell Bridge in South Windsor. Both sides of 9 heavy approaching the Aragoni Bridge. 84 eastbound in Southbury got delays from 16 all the way up to the Mixmaster in Waterbury. Westbound 84 tied up from the 691 interchange up to the Mixmaster in Waterbury. Traffic and weather together on the 8 WTIC News Talk 1080.
Duke's Real Mayo.
This is the Duke's Country Song. It's a song about good mayo, Duke's Mayo. It'll make any dish sing. Get Duke's Mayo in store. It's got twang.
WTIC weather.
It'll be pleasant out there for the rest of this afternoon with plenty of sunshine, the high up to 84 degrees. And clear out there for tonight. A little on the cool side. We'll be heading down to a low of 56. The nice weather continues tomorrow. Plenty of sunshine once again. The high tomorrow 84. Mainly clear tomorrow night, low 56. And as we work our way into Sunday, that nice weather is going to continue with a mostly sunny sky and the high of 86. This is meteorologist Isaac Longley in the WTIC Weather Center.
This is WTIC News Talk 1080 with Brian and Company in the morning, Reese on the radio in the afternoon, and news around the clock. WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford and Odyssey Station.
84 degrees at 5. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News. The multi-town response to a major apartment complex fire in Danbury yesterday likely saved a lot of lives and property. It broke out after 4 p.m. at the Ashwood Valley Apartments and was contained by 6:15. Only 6 people suffered minor injuries despite extensive damage and the eventual collapse of 3 floors. Danbury Fire Captain Mark Miguel says part of the building was saved thanks to a sprinkler system, firewalls, and the firefighters' response.
Absolutely. It sustained a little bit of smoke damage in those other areas, but there's pretty heavy water damage in that first third.
The Red Cross assisting 51 people displaced. 1 resident was trapped in a balcony and rescued using a ladder. A dog and 6 cats were also saved. More mixed signals from the White House on Iran. On the one hand, President Trump says talks are ongoing.
Look, we're talking to them right now. I think they're getting more and more serious as the days go by, for maybe the obvious reason. But we are talking to them right now.
That statement comes after the president told Axios he's considering a massive attack.
Trump claims that Iran wants to come back to the table, but that he's not yet willing to negotiate, saying they haven't received enough pain yet.
ABC's Mary Bruce. The U.S. struck a Revolutionary Guard naval base in northern Iran, but Iran is on the offensive. U.S.-led forces shot down 5 explosive drones over a city in northern Iraq, home to American military advisors. There were explosions in the capital of Iraq's Kurdish region, where U.S. forces are also based. And Iran says it targeted the U.S. base in Udari, Kuwait, claiming successful strikes there. There's no confirmation on that from Central Command. Democratic Congressman Jim Himes says the U.S. is in a worse position than it was under the failed Memorandum of Understanding, and he's concerned Iran would have leverage in any talks.
Iran has now learned that they really control the negotiating table because the president understands that he cannot sustain $5 a gallon gasoline going into the election. As I feared many months ago when the president started this war, the way out is going to be a very bad deal that will benefit the Iranians and will not benefit the rest of the world.
After a week on the rise, oil prices down today. U.S. crude down 3%, Brent crude dropping 4% to $96 a barrel. AAA says gas is at an average $4.10 per gallon, up 12 cents from last week. Home sales were up in June, surprising analysts.
Despite mortgage rates that have climbed to 6.58% on a 30-year note, new home sales reached an annualized 628,000 units in June, eclipsing the previous month's 618,000. The same report from the Census Bureau shows that the median sales price of new houses sold last month fell 3.3% to $398,300.
ABC's Jim Ryan. On Wall Street, the Dow up 235, S&P was up 4 points, the Nasdaq was down 161. Sports, 41-year-old LeBron James signs with Philadelphia. ESPN reports it's a 2-year, $8 million deal. Red Sox and Blue Jays at Fenway, pregame 6:10 on WTIC. Patrick Sandoval on the mound. Yankees at Philadelphia, the Mets host the Dodgers. The Yard Goats in Richmond again, and once again there's Banana Ball at Duncan Park. And the WNBA three-point competition tonight in Chicago. Former UConn great Easy Fudd, now with the Dallas Wings, will be taking part. And soccer, the Hartford Athletic at Phoenix tomorrow. For more, check out WTIC.com. I'm Dave Maker, WTIC 1080 News.
Men, if your energy is down, your workouts aren't producing results, you're gaining stubborn weight, losing muscle, sleeping poorly, or just not feeling like yourself anymore, it may be more than just aging. This is Dale for Northeast Men's Health. Our low T and body composition treatments are designed to help men regain energy, improve focus, sleep better, build lean muscle, reduce unwanted fat, and restore confidence both in and out of the gym. At Northeast Men's Health, we specialize in helping men optimize their health, performance, and vitality. Using personalized medical treatments tailored to your health and goals, many men begin noticing improvements in energy, mental clarity, recovery, motivation, libido, and overall body composition within just a few weeks. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes PSA and a T-test and a medical consult. And if you start on treatment the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 800-930-5956 or go to northeastmenshealth.com. We have 7 offices, including our new office in Bridgewater.
Featured therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
It's Reese on the radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
As I tried to say before my wife was yelling at me about turning the sound off in the West End, I am doing a million things at once. Go ahead. No, you can talk. I'm sitting up here fixing everything while I could. What did you want to say to me, dear? I wasn't listening.
Oh, I wanted to tell you to shut up. I'm talking. No, I'm kidding. No, we were just explaining how, I was just explaining how we ended up here and how miserable I was in San Antonio.
Yes, of course. You know what time it is, right? Yep, that's right. It's time. Oh, no, I did it wrong. Sorry. News. She doesn't like music news. I don't care. Today in music news, I'm sorry, I turned you down. In music news today, celebrating a birthday is Jay McGinnis of The Wanted. He turns 36. Ladybug Mecca. I can't believe that's her name. Of Diggable Planets. You know, I'm cool like that. That's her. Yeah, that's her official name. She turns 53 today. Kristen Chenoweth turns 58. You're going to know her. Did you ever see Wicked?
Yeah.
Okay.
The stage play and not the movie.
Okay, well, the stage play.
Oh, the just talks like this. And she's like an amazing dancer. Oh, she's
Singer.
wonderful.
Singer,
yeah.
Yeah, Kristen Chenoweth turns 58. Paul Geary of the group Extreme turns 65. And Jennifer Lopez.
83.
Turns 57 this year.
You're the same age.
That's right. We're the same age. We were born in the same year. That is correct. In 1982, this day in history, Survivor's Eye of the Tiger from the Rocky III soundtrack began a 6-week run at the #1 spot on the Billboard Hot 100. In 1976, Elton John and Kiki D hit #1 on the UK with Don't Go Breaking My Heart. In 2020, the fairest white girl of all, Taylor Swift's surprise release of her 8th studio album, Folklore. Just one day's notice. Say nothing foul about that Nubian princess. Anyway.
Nubian is black.
Well, whatever. She's that white porcelain princess. In 1974, my nemesis, Stevie Wonder, released Fulfillness, the first finale, which topped the top of the pop charts and R&B charts in 1974. My arch nemesis, Stevie Wonder. And in 2022, Joni Mitchell made a surprise appearance at the Newport Folk Festivals, performing her first full public set in 19 years. All of that happened on this day throughout history. My arch nemesis, Stevie Wonder.
I'm like holding back tears because I was laughing so hard internally. Who have I been telling you that I married? Like,
oh, Sheldon Cooper.
Sheldon Cooper. I was watching Big Bang Theory this morning, and who did you finally come to realize you are far, far more aligned with?
Sheldon Cooper.
Yeah.
He was asked a question on the show, if you could have dinner with anyone in the world, who would it be? And at the same time, we said ourselves.
Yeah. The reason I just laughed hysterically is because Sheldon Cooper has a PDF file of all of his arch nemesis.
Oh, wow. Isn't that interesting? All right, let's get a check of weather and traffic. Mark Christopher's back. He is in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Mark Christopher, if you could have dinner with anyone in the world, how could it not be you? Think about it. It's the one thing that you could never do. It's the Kanye West thing. Kanye West said it best. He said, I regret the fact that I will never be able to see myself perform live. I say that every day.
Yeah, that's a good point. Oh, my God. That's a good
Wouldn't
point.
you, listen to me, wouldn't you like to dance to your own DJ set, Mark Christopher?
No.
Oh, what's wrong with
I
you?
think the person that Mark Christopher would want to have dinner with would be you to help feed your ego.
No, it would. He would have dinner with Stevie Wonder.
I better make like a 5-hour reservation for that, Rozan. I mean, that's just
exactly.
That's not one helping. You're going to be there for a while.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just
Such
kidding.
a humble guy.
Just kidding. Just joking around.
That's all right.
Reese.
All
We're
right.
just having fun here. Hey, if you're heading into Hartford right now, eastbound side of 84, you're slowing about a half mile before 46 Sisson Avenue in Hartford to the Bulkley. Westbound 84 tied up. 56 Governor Street out to 46 Sisson Avenue. 91 southbound delays Hartford 33 down to 32 A and B. Again, you'll see some slow traffic moving from exit 19 down to 17 for the Wilbur Cross Parkway. Northbound 91 budget up 20 to 21. Middletown into Cromwell again up by 25, 26 in Wethersfield. 2 westbound slowing from exit 1D up to the 84 West merge. 291 westbound tight from exit 2 up to the Bissell Bridge. 9 northbound slowing Harbor Park up to the Aragoni Bridge. Very heavy 84 eastbound just after 16 in Southbury to the Mixmaster. And westbound 84 sluggish stop and go. 691 interchange in Cheshire up to the Mixmaster in Waterbury. Traffic and weather together on the 8 WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Mostly sunny for the rest of this afternoon. It is going to be pleasant out there with low humidity. The high temperature up to 84 degrees and clear and rather cool out there for tonight. We'll head down to a low of 56. The nice weather continues right through the rest of this week, and we'll see plenty of sunshine tomorrow. Just an excellent start to the weekend. The high tomorrow up to 84. Mostly clear for tomorrow night, low 56. And as we get into Sunday, a mostly sunny sky once again. A little bit warmer. We'll head up to a high of 86 on Sunday. For Monday, turning out more humid. We'll see sunshine mixing with a few clouds at times. High Monday, 85. Then we do have a cold front moving in for Tuesday, leading to a mostly cloudy sky. Rather sticky out there, and there will be a thunderstorm at a couple spots. The high Tuesday, 81. Right now it's 84 in Windsor, 83 degrees in South Glastonbury, and 81 in Hartford. This is meteorologist Isaac Longley in the WTIC Weather Center.
Hi, this is Eric Hogarth with Money Wisdom. This weekend, we'll talk about retirement. Namely, how much does it cost to have a great or a mediocre one? We're also going to talk about that same question relative to 1996. Tune in this weekend to TIC News Talk 1080.
I'm Ultima Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Every time one of my children started driving, it was terrifying. Thousands of accidents happen across the country. We see it every day. If you've been injured in a car accident, call us.
Injured? Dial pound law. Nicholas Russo, 157 Church Street, New Haven, 06510.
Is life insurance still on your list from earlier this year? Now is the perfect time to just get it done. A buddy told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I added this to my list this year and got it done. I called SelectQuote and was shocked at how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $18 a month. My wife's also 40, and her $5,000 policy was only $16 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, no medical exam was required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Checking this off my list felt great. but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-280-5858 for your free quote today. That's 1-800-280-5858. Or go to SelectQuote.com. That's 1-800-280-5858. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2026 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aid.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
From politics to news to music to movies and anything above the sun and outer space and beyond, it's Reese on the radio. Damn, he's good. Only on NewsTalk 1080 WTIC.
Hey, we are back. Reese on the radio. We're live. Don't worry about it, guys. You don't have to rush. Sherri just got in to the building, and she's up there frantically trying to get her microphone and everything set up. That's okay. You take your time. Sherri and I are going to have a conversation about a whole bunch of stuff coming up. Look at us. You're ready to go. You okay?
Yes, I am.
All right. Hold on. We'll put you up on the camera so that everybody can see. You don't mind being on live, do you?
No, I do not.
Okay. Sherri, you are, and by the way, it is a pleasure to have you here. Let's just get you a little bit of applause going on here. So for those of you who may not know, Sherri just called up the show. Do you listen to the show regularly?
Yes,
You listen to my show?
Yes, I do.
And you called up, and the conversation had a lot to do with Hartford politics in particular.
That is correct.
And you are an active voter, participant in party politics in the city of Hartford, I would assume.
am.
In what way would you consider yourself involved? Just as a person who's trying to get people out to vote, to tell them what the issues are?
Well, all and above. What I do is this. Where there's crisis or concerns in the residents of the city, normally do not know how to handle, such as submitting complaints about the police officer.
Okay.
Knowing the process, knowing their rights, where to look up the statutes, where to look up the regulations, etc. How to listen to the dispatch in your home, okay? Because you want to hear when the police is coming to your area, and if it's in your street, you can look out and record.
Right.
The most important thing is this. The citizens of the city of Hartford are uncomfortable, but a number of them are afraid to complain. And it's very essential that our politicians be aware of what the residents in the community, how they feel, what they see, what they know. A number of occasions, politics usually follow the police officers instead of the residents. The residents are the one that vote for you, not the police officers.
But, Sherri, let me cut you off there, because that's a very important point you're making, right?
Yes.
Saying that, you want the politicians to adhere to the people who have elected them. And that is important, that they recognize who they are representing.
Yes.
Which, again, you know about my discussion with Luke Bronin and how he felt, that he was the person who was in charge of making the decisions for his constituents. He felt he was the leader of Hartford, not the servant of Hartford.
He is the servant, and you and I both know it. If he don't get that in his head, okay, he needs to step aside.
Right.
The reason why he needs to step aside is this. Politicians sometimes think they're the ones in charge, and they're the ones that form the policies and process and procedures. What they should consider is this. they should consider what the constituents want.
Absolutely.
They are not in charge. They were paying voters before the undocumented. Let's say that out loud. We all are aware of it, and they are aware of it. And how many times?
Watch your hand real quick because the camera's right
and
there.
how many times did I complain? Okay, I complained right from the beginning. I'm standing in line. An individual was in back of me. They tapped me on his shoulders right there in the City of Hartford building. And he said, don't forget to go upstairs and get your money.
How did he assume that you were there to collect money? Like,
remember, we're absentee voting. We're standing there voting.
Okay. Gotcha.
He's in back of me. He said, when you get your little sticky, don't forget to go upstairs. I said to him, something's not right. We do not get paid to vote. And what are you referring to? And that's when he said to me, yes, we do. You get the little sticky, you go upstairs, blah, 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 blah. I immediately thought I was getting punked. Okay, I'm like, hold on, because I know there's cameras and, audio in that building.
Yeah,
I'm like thinking.
You thinking somebody's setting you up.
CIA, FBI got to be listening on this. And I think I'm going to jail, and I don't like jail. Okay? I think I'm too beautiful to go to jail.
Indeed you are.
Okay. And so, and I just said, sir, that's a federal crime. FBI, CIA, if you're listening.
Right. Yeah, I got nothing to do with that, right? Well, hold on. I don't want to get lost in that because it's a great part of the story. But
and then I called FEC.
Yes.
I filed the complaint.
And nothing came of it.
No, I don't know what becomes of it. But the most important thing is that you see, you hear, you report.
Right.
You do something about it. And I reported it immediately to the SEEC and the FEC.
Beautiful.
Okay, and then I also reported that for years, and our community has been afraid to speak out on it, that these individuals, undocumented Caribbean folks, say out loud that they're getting paid. They're going to demand more money, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And this year was in the community. They're saying they're going to flood the election with absentee voters sheets.
Okay, now this is important. So you were talking earlier, like, I don't even know how to go back to the original point that I was making, but we were looking at the election just recently, right? Of Mayor Rozan.
Right.
And we found something that was absolutely daunting in the election. So I'm going to throw a couple of numbers at you. I hope you can keep up.
I can. I'm sharp.
So when I say this, so in 2022,
yes,
that election of Ned Lamont,
right?
Ned Lamont won with a count of in and around 19,200 votes.
Right.
But I know it was in the 19 count.
Okay, right.
In 2024, Kamala Harris in Hartford got about 24,000 and some odd votes. When Mayor Rozan ran, the vote count was 4,700. Now, that's like, I understand that there's not much interest in local politics and national politics sort of generates bigger numbers. What do you think that is about? Because you talk about that these these representatives are supposed to represent the constituents. I kind of feel like Mayor Rozan can't really or doesn't really do that because you look at that vote count, who really does he answer to? 4,700 people?
No.
You know what I mean?
You know who he answers to?
Oh, well, you tell me.
Okay, I'm going to tell you this. And I also put this question out there. When Rozan did win, before he took the seat, guess what he did?
I don't know.
He and
do we have to say allegedly?
No, allegedly. Okay, let me say this. No, but it was stated in the Hartford Current, so I'm just assuming it was true.
It was true. Okay. All
Okay,
right.
so I'm just assuming, but it was told throughout the community that he, and it was in the Hartford Current also.
Fact check her just to make sure.
He and what's his name? Luke Browan.
Brooke, no, yeah. You did mention this,
had
yes.
a closed door
Conversation, or
and they came to some type of
agreement,
and it's sealed.
Okay.
Okay, it's a sealed document, and all that was about blighted property.
Okay.
They were saying that, and I don't know if it's true, but I'm asking them to unseal it because the public needs to know whether or not there was money left, whether or not money was unused and they saving it for the politicians' rainy day instead of the constituents.
Okay.
So we don't know what's in that sealed document.
Okay.
And it's very important that the community not be afraid to ask. Why are you whispering instead of being upfront, about what took place?
Do you think that there are people in Hartford, like I said, the reason why I use that number, the 4,700 versus
Right.
the 19,000
Because it's
versus
low.
the 24,
Because it's very
low.
low.
Is it because
Extremely.
there are people in Hartford who really, like in the city of Hartford, who are not very much engaged in the politics there? Is that the reason? Because I don't think that there are a lot of people in Hartford like you, Sherri.
Oh, I know they don't like me.
No. I mean, no. Not that they don't like you. I don't think there's a lot of people who are like you. I don't think that there are very.
Because I
you're,
speak up?
No, yeah, because you're very informed.
Because, hold on, if you don't say it, it's
Yeah, but do you
nothing
do you
about it.
believe that there are other people in Hartford, or a large number of people who are engaged as you are in
Oh,
Hartford?
no, because they live in fear. They live in fear of police retaliation. They live in fear of people at the state, people at the local level getting hold of them, doing something to them.
What is this, Jim Crow South? What the hell am I looking at?
It's Jim Crow North.
Are you serious? Like, I really don't. I was just joking about this a couple of weeks ago. I said, I felt like I was living in the 19th century with black people in Hartford. And you and Bernard, who was just here yesterday, was talking about how black people in Connecticut are afraid to speak up because they feel like they're going to be tolerated against with these people, these bozos.
They live in fear. They live in fear in all different directions. I'm going to tell you a quick statement. I call a Hispanic girl was talking to me about a number of people getting raped, and a number of people getting trafficked in the city. Okay, so she took me to a location that was at the Greenfield Extension. Okay, I saw white cargo trucks, a number of them flooding on both sides of the street. This is around 2 o'clock in the morning.
Damn.
Folks were getting out of those cargo trucks. They were sweating, pouring this, that, or whatever. Babies crying. I thought I was in a twilight zone. I'm standing there. I'm calling the police department because I'm crying because I can't believe these people drove from wherever in these big old white cargo trucks. And they smell, and it's on both sides of the street. I'm calling the police department. The first thing the police officer says on the other end is, I told them not to make a big scene or whatever.
What?
I told them.
Wait. Are you saying that?
You know what I'm saying happened. I said it. I called. I reported.
Watch the camera.
I even took it to our community meetings. A lady there said, why are you reporting on the black people? Aren't you black? I said, ooh, I'm black. But what I saw was something out of the twilight zone. I called the Hartford Police Department. Nobody showed up. We stuck around, and a Spanish young lady, my amigos I call them, took me to the location. We watched, we cried.
So this woman knew about it and wanted you to see it firsthand.
Right, because they had reported it to the mayor's office. They had reported it to the police department. Nothing happened. And she knew if she showed me,
then you would say something, yeah.
I'm going to say,
she needed somebody.
What the H is this? And you need to, but I was shocked that I called the police department, and what they said, they hung up. Nobody ever showed up.
Damn.
Nobody showed up. And then I called the media to report it. Nobody showed up.
Well, that's typical.
Okay.
So
hold on. I don't know where. I just know they
You just know where they arrived at.
And I know they said, a number of them said they have driven a long distance because they were pouring sweat, etc.
Were they just like the cargo vans with the chairs inside of them?
Chairs.
Oh no, it was
mattresses.
Damn. Holy moly.
And so I'm crying because I feel sorry for the babies.
Yeah.
And then I'm calling, and then when I went to the community meetings to report it, I think her name, can't think of the lady name, but she died recently. She said, "Aren't you black? I can't believe a black person is whatever telling."
Wow. I got to take a break. Give me a minute. Sherri is here from Hartford, and she is telling some fantastical stories. I have to admit, we're going to talk to more before we get up out of here. Stand by. We'll get into some more weather and traffic. Mark Christopher's here. He is in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Hey, Mark.
Hey, Reese, thank you very much. Well, if you're 84 eastbound, you got delays about a half mile before 46th Avenue down into the tunnel. Westbound 84 is slowing Bulkley Bridge out to 47 Sigourney Street. 91 southbound delays in Hartford 34 down to 32A and B. If you are traveling southbound 91 in Meriden, delays approaching 19 to 17. Northbound 91's a little tight. Rocky Hill into Weathersfield 24 up to 25, 26. 2 westbounds tight up in East Hartford, 1D up to the 84 West Merge. Heading over to South Windsor, 291 westbound delays Bissell Bridge up to the, actually from exit 2 up to the Bissell Bridge. If you're heading 9 north and southbound, slowing at the Aragoni Bridge in Middletown. 84 eastbound still very heavy from exit 16 in Southbury up to the Mixmaster. Westbound 84 sluggish, stop and go. 691 interchange up to the Mixmaster in Waterbury. Northbound Parkway, look for delays approaching 46 into the West Rock Tunnel. Traffic and weather together on the 8 WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
It'll be nice out there for the rest of this afternoon with plenty of sunshine. We'll be heading up to a high of 84 degrees and clear out there tonight, a little on the cool side as we head down to a low of 56. A beautiful start to the weekend as we head into tomorrow. Plenty of sunshine on the way. The high tomorrow 84 degrees, mainly clear tomorrow night, low 56. Then the nice weather continues on Sunday with a mostly sunny sky. The high Sunday 86. As we head into Monday, more humid with sunshine mixing with a few clouds. Monday's high up to 85 degrees, and a cold front moves in on Tuesday. That's going to bring plenty of clouds. A little more humidity out there for Tuesday with a thunderstorm in 1 or 2 spots. The high Tuesday 81. The rain and a few thunderstorms can continue into Wednesday with highs in the lower 80s. This is meteorologist Isaac Longley in the WTIC Weather Center.
And now, a WTIC news update.
83 degrees at 5:30. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News. Police confirm an attack in a motorcycle shop in Griswold was related to last week's biker brawl and shooting at the Cadillac Ranch in Southington. They say Kevin Lawler of Derby was involved when a smoke bomb was thrown through the window of the bike shop called Bully Baggers & Son. The owner of that shop was assaulted at the Cadillac Ranch days before, where Lawler was one of 8 bikers charged with interfering with police. The smoke bomb is believed to be an attempt at retribution. President Trump with more tariffs despite the Supreme Court ruling that says he doesn't have the power to issue them. He announced a new round of sales taxes on American taxpayers yesterday on goods from 60 countries. University of Michigan economics professor Justin Wolfers tells ABC News.
The United States is in the process of isolating itself from the rest of the world. It makes our economy less dynamic. It means that American companies don't have to compete so hard anymore. And so don't be surprised if you'll be paying higher prices even for American-made goods because they're no longer going to be competing with others.
And there's already a lawsuit against the new tariffs in federal court in New York, backed by a libertarian group.
The lawsuit accuses the Trump administration of using claims of forced labor as an illegal pretext to impose sweeping tariffs on dozens of countries. While the lawsuit acknowledges that Trump has the authority to use some tariffs to address unfair trade practices, it claims these new tariffs lack the country-specific justifications that are required by law. A spice importer and watch company filed the lawsuit in New York with the backing of the same legal organization that successfully blocked Trump's first round of tariffs. Peter Haralambous, ABC News, New York.
Trump also says the U.S. will investigate trade practices in the European Union, claiming Google, Apple, and other tech giants have been unfairly fined. 41-year-old LeBron James is following former Celtics great Jaylen Brown to Philadelphia.
LeBron James says he believes he can help make the Philadelphia 76ers a championship team. The 4-time NBA champion called it his last decision and that it comes after he strongly considered retirement.
The AP's Ed Donahue, it's a modest 2-year, $8 million deal, according to ESPN's Shams Charania. Police in Wisconsin say CBS Sports analyst Tony Romo was arrested on suspicion of DUI. The Milwaukee County Sheriff says The former Dallas Cowboys quarterback performed poorly on field sobriety testing after getting stopped on the interstate. The 46-year-old was booked and released. On Wall Street, the Dow closed up 235. S&P was up 4 points. The Nasdaq was down 161. Sports, Red Sox and Blue Jays at Fenway. Pregame 6:10 on WTIC. Yankees at Philadelphia. Mets host the Dodgers. Yard Goats in Richmond. And there's Banana Ball again at Duncan Park. For more, check out WTIC.com. I'm Dave Maker, WTIC 1080 News.
Hartford, we've got a problem. Home care is in crisis and there aren't enough caregivers to meet the demand. So if you've got a loved one with Medicaid who needs care, don't wait. Freedom Care will help you get care at home from someone you already trust. A family member or friend who lives with you and can get paid to help with everyday needs like meals, medication, bathing, and mobility. If you have Medicaid, it's 100% free to you. No waiting lists. Just real care from your people right now. Freedom Care handles it all. Training, payroll, and support. So you can stay safe and comfortable at home. And your caregiver gets paid tax-free after every shift, guaranteed. With 97% satisfaction and over 150 million hours of care delivered, Hartford families are already making the switch to care at home. Take care of your own and get paid with Freedom Care. Call 860-530-5203. That's 860-530-5203. Call now. 860-530-5203. 860-530-5203.
With the high price of new and used cars today, many drivers are choosing to keep their vehicles a lot longer. But with the average car now over 12 years old, most manufacturers' warranties have expired. I'm Danica Patrick. If your car is out of warranty, a single trip to the mechanic could cost you thousands. That's why smart drivers choose Endurance. If your vehicle is less than 20 years old, no matter the mileage, Endurance could have your car covered for the drivetrain, electrical, AC, transmission, and more. And Endurance is with you every step of the way, from filing a claim to paying the mechanic of your choice directly. And your rate won't go up no matter how many claims you file. Call Endurance now and choose the plan that fits your budget. Act now and get 1 year of elite benefits, a $2,000 value free.
For your fast free quote, call 800-291-0342. 800-291-0342. 800-291-0342.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at EnduranceWarranty.com.
The Odyssey app lets you jump back to the moments you missed from WTIC News Talk 1080. Download the free Odyssey app. Search WTIC News Talk 1080 and tap earlier today to get started.
All right, we'll be back with Sherri from Hartford in a minute. Stand by for that. Don't forget, always go to ReeseOnTheRadio.com. That's REESE on the radio.com. You can always check out the show there. You can rewind it there. We're going to have some new things that are on there. Of course, the Rundown website, you can also get the link there as well. This weekend, I have no idea what we're doing. So if you got an idea, send us an email. Go to ReeseOnTheRadio.com, send a comment, and we'll figure out what we're doing. Apparently, if we're not doing a restaurant this weekend, then we're doing it next weekend. I don't know which weekend we're supposed to be doing soul food, but apparently we're doing soul food. And I'm going to eat soul food. And I'm supposed to eat it with J. Stan McCauley, who was on the show not too long ago. And I think he runs the National Association of Black Alliance. I can't remember the name of the organization. Do you forgive me? Do you know him? Hold on.
Alliance, yeah.
The African American Alliance. Yeah. Sherri knows everybody. you know Stan McCauley, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
He's a nice individual.
He is a guy. He's a good guy. So I'm supposed to be having dinner with him. So we're gonna do that coming up on one of these weekends. So expect to see that. And of course, you can go to ReeseOnTheRadio.com so you can check out dinner with family dinner with Reese and Rozan. I'll be posting that also on the website so you can watch the full episode of that. I'm almost done cutting up that whole episode. I did all of the filming, just so you know. I did all of the filming. I did all of the editing. I did all of the music. I did everything. I created the whole thing, producing, starring, and everything. I should win an Emmy. I deserve an Emmy. I should get an Emmy. Not going to get one. Roland has an Emmy. I'm not going to get one, but I should get one. My wife she's doing this. I can whine. You guys put me up to this. Everybody said, my manager, my wife, you're doing a family dinner with Reese and Rozan. And I'm like, who's going to produce it? You are. Who's going to edit it? You are. You're going to put the whole thing together. I don't want to do this. But now I'm doing it. I'm not going to lie. It's actually been fun. The first episode is with Pasha Restaurant in Manchester, and we had a blast there. So check that out. It's coming out on Sunday. So if you are not a friend of Reese on the Radios, go to Go to ReeseOnRadio.com so you can friend us on Facebook and on X, and so you can watch the first episode starting this Sunday. We'll come back. Sherri from Hartford is back. She'll join us and tell us more dark tales in the city of Hartford. We might make this a series. Oh, yes. Mark Christopher is back.
We need to.
He's in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Hey, Mark.
All right, Reese, thank you very much. Well, 91 southbound delays 33 down to 32 A and B in Hartford. And then you'll see some slow traffic down as you move down into Meriden, approaching 19 to 17 for the Wilbur-Cross Parkway. Northbound 91 just losing some speed, 25-26 in Wethersfield for the Putnam Bridge. Westbound 84 tied up approaching the Bulkley Bridge out to 47 Sigourney Street. Eastbound 84 slows 44 Prospect Oakwood into the tunnel. 2 westbound delays, 1D up to the 84 West merge. 291 westbound slowing exit 2 up to the Bissell Bridge. In Middletown, 9 southbound's a little tight at the Aragoni Bridge. Still very heavy moving Southbury into Waterbury from just after 16 on the eastbound side of 84 into the Mixmaster. Westbound 84, sluggish stop and go from the 691 interchange in Cheshire up to the Mixmaster in Waterbury. Northbound Parkway delays approaching 46 up to the West Rock Tunnel. Traffic and weather together on the 8 WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Well, we're going to see plenty of sunshine for the rest of this afternoon. It is going to be rather pleasant out there with low humidity. The high this afternoon up to 84 degrees. We'll end up clear tonight. It's going to be a comfortable night with low humidity, low of 56 degrees. Plenty of sunshine and on the way for tomorrow. Just an excellent start to the weekend here with a high of 84. Mostly clear once again tomorrow night. We'll head down to low of 56. Now the nice weather will continue right through the rest of the weekend. Sunday, we'll have a mostly sunny sky, a little bit warmer with a high up to 86 degrees. And we turn out more humid as we get into Monday. We'll see a partly sunny sky. The high Monday, 85. Turning out mostly cloudy, rather humid on Tuesday. There will be a thunderstorm in just a couple spots as well. The high Tuesday, 81. Right now it's 82 degrees in East Hartford, 83 in Farmington, and 81 in Hartford. This is meteorologist Isaac Longley in the WTIC Weather Center.
Make your money work harder for your future. Catch Johnson Brunetti's Money Wisdom tomorrow morning at 8:30 for essential retirement tips. Only on WTIC News Talk 1080. Celebrate America's 250th anniversary with the limited edition O'Reilly Brake Parts Cleaner while supplies last at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Right now, get 2 cans for $8. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts or shop online at O'ReillyAuto.com.
If you owe back taxes, listen carefully to rule number 1. Never go up against the IRS alone. They're cracking down, freezing bank accounts, garnishing paychecks, canceling passports. Even your home or business could be at risk. But here's what they don't tell you. The IRS has powerful tax relief programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. That's why smart people call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. Nobody knows these programs like the experts at Optima. Their team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $2 billion in tax debt for people just like you. The IRS is not stopping, so don't wait. And don't take them on alone. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, call Optima today for a free consultation.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
What's up, everybody? You know who it is.
You know who it is. You know who it is.
It's Reese on the radio. Frederick Douglass of the 21st century.
It's WTIC News Talk 1080.
Okay, Sherri from Hartford is with us, and I thank you so much for being a part of this show today. Your phone call was absolutely so amazing to have you on the program here live and to actually see you. People all the way from Las Vegas are like, is that the lady from the phone call? I'm like, they are loving you. They love your energy. Craig in the car says, somebody take away her Red Bull. You got so much energy. You have lived in Hartford your whole life.
Yes.
And you have seen all the politicians come and go.
Come and go and not do anything about anything. And when you ask the politicians, well, what have you done? I don't want to hear your song and dance. I need to hear what you have done.
Have they done anything in your opinion?
Actions count.
Yeah.
Okay, have you stolen money? Have you been accused of stealing money?
What makes you stay, Sherri? I gotta ask that. You've been
You've
been there. Is it the fight, or is it just because you're home and you were? Because if I almost feel like for you, leaving would be defeat.
Leaving, yes, it would, because the politicians, the African Americans. I'm saying African Americans. They're not acute. They're not noticing that the politicians have replaced them with the Caribbean people. You see floods of them coming in. You see them getting jobs, high jobs, paying jobs at the state and federal level. State and local level. You are aware, you're saying how these people get these jobs and they can barely read and write and they don't have any working papers. And I said, and then on top of that, they sit on a number of NRZs and committees in our city.
You know, somebody said, oh my goodness. I just realized something. Zendaya. She just said that.
She said the same thing.
So, oh my goodness.
They're
literally
running.
2 and 2 just added up in my head. She was talking about one of the Caribbean nightclubs or whatever it was that had those. She said she couldn't believe it that inside the banquet hall they had the picture up of Ned Lamont and Luke Bronin, who were in the banquet hall. Whoa. And she said, she goes, I cannot believe that in a Caribbean banquet hall there's only one picture of Bob Marley and there's 2 pictures of Luke Bronin and Ned Lamont.
Why?
I'm like, even when she showed me the picture, I went, what? That's some of the most insane. Now you're saying in essence that
because
they're working together.
Their organization, they funneled money to them and guarantee that they get what? Votes. Okay, and what one of my neighbors.
Yeah, but isn't that kind of, Sherri, the reason why? And this is. I know it's going to sound pretty harsh to say,
okay.
But I feel like, look, these guys have to get elected, and I'm playing devil's advocate here. Please do not think that I'm giving these guys any leeway.
I'm comfortable with what you're saying.
Okay, so they know that the community is not going out to vote, clearly in local elections. So in some ways, they kind of have to import people who will. Or support people who will.
Undocumented people that are not supposed to vote.
I'm not making a case for it. I'm just making the case.
How are you going to import people when they're not supposed to vote?
I know.
And they know they're voting. They're paying them. People are getting paid to vote. They're saying it.
Look, we've seen it. We've actually seen a video of it. We've seen it in California. We've seen it in Detroit. We've seen it in Chicago. And we said now, I mean, we got to get...
All the sanctuary cities practice the same routine. That is, and that's why they let the flood of undocumented people in our city.
Yeah, we're dealing with that now with the whole DMV scandal. We got people who are registered to vote who are not even supposed to be allowed to be in the country, not even supposed to have driver's license. That's kind of what the show has been.
But the most important thing that you're not getting and others aren't getting is this. How are these people getting grants, getting Section 8 HUD housing. Remember, they asked for the SNAP eligibility information in the voting roll.
Yeah.
Why do you think they asked for that? And why did Connecticut not supply the information? Because they're aware that if they match things up, guess what? Guess what?
They'll find a fraud.
They'll find that a large percent of the individuals that did vote for them shouldn't have voted for them. So I'm saying, this is my theory. If a politician gets a certain percentage of undocumented people voting, they should not be able to sit at the table. What would happen if they weren't able to sit at the table? Because they're encouraging it. Like I said, the flood hasn't stopped of them coming here. And then they're telling residents such as myself, my gardener was outside doing work in my yard. One of my neighbors said, "We run this." I said, "What? We run this?" I said, "Which politician told you that? You don't even run your own island."
Damn.
I said, let's play devil's advocate. You're so
Damn, come on, Sherri. You ain't got to put the knife down, Sherri.
How could you say that to me?
Yeah.
And I'm not going to allow you to get those perks. Because, hold on, those perks that you got, the grants, the housing, the money, guess what? When you depart, and you will depart, all that going to go back to us, the residents that suffered while you were here.
You better hope it does.
No, and the politicians that helped them take advantage of that. Hold on, why aren't they going to jail?
Yeah. I mean, look, you are...
The black people, it's easy to put the undocumented people there. But what about the politicians that encourage? They encourage these people to do...
Yeah, no, listen,
Okay,
you are preaching to the choir here.
My theory is, if you, a politician, and a certain percentage of your votes are from undocumented people, you do not sit as an attorney general. You don't sit as a governor because what?
You cheated. Yeah, I agree.
Okay, and you got to step aside and your opponent steps in that seat. Okay, and that's what I'm hoping that we will do, because because it's like fraud all over the place, and then they're giving perks, money, liquidating money to these people.
Sherri, let me ask you this. Let me just, and you're on a roll, trust me, but I got to get this question in because you are a person who you appear to be, from what I can tell just off face value, you are 100% invested in this. But I got to ask you this question because a lot of people are wondering.
Why?
Right? Is there a possibility for people in Hartford, let's just call it like I see it, black folks,
yes.
Black folks, is it possible for black folks to finally realize that they've been disenfranchised by the party that has now decided to align itself with illegals, to step up and vote in the opposite direction, maybe towards conservative, maybe towards libertarian, but just not Democrats, that they can turn this around? Because the only way they're going to get undocumented people out of the state is if Republicans win. If this state goes red, then all of that stuff, that money that's being fleeced from the taxpayer, that is not going to the people who need it most, that's not going to happen unless black folks in Connecticut vote against the status quo. I mean, how are we going to get there? And can we get there?
We can't get there by doing this, and this is what I'm doing. Show them that Democratic politician, what have you done for us?
Yeah.
Ask them that question. What have you delivered for us? You're taking care of the undocumented. Why are we talking about undocumented when we have citizens that you haven't addressed their needs?
Well, maybe the part of that thing is like just like
it's like show and tell.
Yeah, no, but remember what Bernard said and what you also echoed here is that the African American community here in Connecticut is afraid to step up against this party because they get retaliated against. So the Democrats can do whatever they want with undocumented because blacks won't step up is my argument.
It's not just fear. Guess what? Okay, certain people
Intimidation?
No. certain people got benefits. People that are part of these fraternities and
Such
this,
good
that,
point.
or whatever.
Yes,
To
agreed.
preach to the folks that.
Yeah, they get.
Okay, one prime example. Ranked choice voting. I was at one. I don't know if you're familiar with ranked choice voting.
Ranked choice voting.
Yes, that's where everybody doesn't get to vote. Some vote, some don't. This, that, or whatever.
Okay.
They was trying to push that, and the folks in the Black Caucus was trying to push it.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked the individual. I said, "Do you know what it is?" The person couldn't give me a clear definition of what. I said, "So why are you pushing it? Did some white man tell you to go push this to the community, and you can't give a clear-cut definition of what it is?" I said, because our founding fathers wanted everybody to vote, not certain people vote this time, certain people don't. I said, know who you talking to. You should be able to give an explanation of what it is and the pros and cons of it. Trust me, our people should not move towards that direction, because not everybody vote would count.
Yeah.
And some people would be able to vote and some people would not. And I did a presentation on it, PowerPoint presentation with my sound and you never see my face, but you hear me.
Right.
And I sent it to all the politicians. I said, if do you think we stupid, or you're stupid, or you're trying to push something? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That prevents us from voting.
Grab the microphone, Rozan. I think Roseanne's trying to. Were you trying to let it?
I'm going to jump out of my flapping skin right
Okay,
now.
no, you can't even go to that microphone. Hold on, I can't for some odd reason. That microphone is attached to what's name. What happened? Just tell me what it is.
So the supporters for Senate Bill 386, which would have been to allow
380. Okay, Senate Bill 386, which would have allowed what?
For ranked voter.
Oh, for the okay. Ranked choice voting.
It failed.
Okay.
And thank God. But guess who supported?
Please tell me it was Doug McCrory or Luke Bronin. Ned Lamont. Wow. Wow. Mayor Arunin.
The mayor of Stamford, Norwalk, and Bridgeport.
Wow.
And I'll
That's
give
No, Bridgeport. No, that's the mayor of Bridgeport is Ganem. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
And and I couldn't believe the ministers within the community. It's like, oh, if they want,
They always go after the ministers. They always go after the ministers.
And they're not aware that the majority of those churches are what? Empty. They're not even full to capacity.
Sherri, I got to end it here, but you know what? We have your number. I have to spend so much time with you. Yeah, Jendaya, I got to get the both of you together.
I want to talk to you about one other thing too, real quick.
Yeah,
Okay,
got a minute. If you could do it in a minute.
The quick is this. Are you aware that a number of individuals, when they're reporting crime within their community, the police among themselves make a decision whether or not they're going to write a report or even investigate it? I'm just going to tell you real briefly this. A young lady was sexually assaulted in a hospital. Okay, she reported to the powers to be, federal, state, and local. Guess what? The police didn't even want to investigate it, and guess what?
I know this story.
A year afterwards, still hasn't been
I know
investigated.
this story. I do know this story.
The story is about, guess who? Myself. And I'm like, hold on. You do not want to investigate a crime that I reported the next day? And then you're telling me work it out with the hospital? Who are you protecting?
I did not know that was you, Sherri.
Yes, that was me.
I did know that story.
Right. And I said, hold on. What is going on here? You're trying to control the narrative, and now they're saying Connecticut is a safe state. For who?
Oh, I did know this story.
With all these individual undocumented people saying they're getting raped and assaulted, where are you getting your stats? Because you're getting your stats because when people report it, the police officers think of whether or not they're going to write it up or investigate it.
I got to leave it there. But
Yeah.
I thank you for sharing that. Oh, I wish it didn't have to end like that. Whew. All right, I got to get up out of here, folks. We will see you on Monday. Sherri will be back without a doubt because there's so much stuff to dive into. I feel like I am listening to the sage of Hartford right now. As I always say, radio is free, so we thank you for paying attention. Remember to keep JC in your hearts and in your mind. Sean Patrick, we love you and we miss you. Remember that panic is not planning, so plan your work and work your plan. Me, I'm Reese on the radio. You have a good night. Pleasant tomorrow. We'll see you back here on Monday. Woo! We'll be back. Sorry, Mark Christopher. He's in the Getting You Home. He's in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Good night, sir.
Reese, have a great weekend. If you're heading into Hartford right now, look for delays 84 eastbound as you move up on 46th Avenue into the downtown tunnel. On the westbound side of 84, you're slowing approaching the Bulkley Bridge out to 46th Avenue. South 91's a little slow at 32A and B. And again, some tight traffic in Meriden, 19 down to 18 for the 691 interchange. 291 westbound is slowing exit 2 up to the